What's up, Tank? How you doing today, man? Getting stuff done, getting your list knocked out. Appreciate you being in here. Uh, we made it. We made it. We made it on time, guys. I just got through eating. I had to hurry up and get me some food in and get this live started. So, guys, welcome to Tuesday Night Live, where we're going to talk about what all's going on in the news in the world of lawn care. I think that would be cool to talk about. We're going to talk about my truck situation. We're going to talk about whatever y'all come in and want to talk about. We'll talk about too, but we're going to talk about customers. We're going to talk about employees tonight. We're going to talk about equipment. I got a lot to talk about a little bit. There's a lot that I need to get off of what's going on here lately. So, what's up, Commander? What's up? Afternoon, my friend. What's up, Tom? What's up, man? I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you being in the live Sunday night with Brian, Primetime Cuts. Guys, if y'all ain't subscribed to Tom Dobie Motor Repair or Prime Cuts Lawn Care, Brian Welch in Australia, please go and subscribe to my guys, man. Subscribe to Tank, subscribe to Ray, subscribe to Doghouse. What's up, Doghouse? Appreciate you being on here. Subscribe to all these guys on here, guys. Give them a little support your fellow lawn care guys, and yeah, man, pretty cool, man, pretty cool. So everybody having a good evening. Everybody finished with their day, done wrapped up, gonna cool off in the house, sit down, watch some Urban Lawn Service live, cool in the AC, because it was hot today. Today was one of the hottest days of the year we had in Alabama, is what they're saying. So, yeah, man, whew, we're in it, guys. We're in the thick of it. So, first off, I'll get this bad boy started, guys. We'll get it rolling. We got 9 of y'all in here. Appreciate it. 10. We've been on for about 3.5, almost 4 minutes. Yeah, we'll say 4 minutes. And guys, so White Lightning is giving me some trouble, guys. White Lightning is, man, he is, yeah. So I went yesterday to try to load up some of that brush they cut up on the banks. I thought I'd help them out. I'd go run up there, and grab a couple loads and take it over to the spot where we're going to dump it. I was just going to do it by myself. I didn't need no help to do that. And I get there, and the truck won't go into gear. Like, I couldn't get it in gear, couldn't get it out. Had to get my wife to come get me. Me and Ricky went up there later. Now, I didn't show this on film. I didn't make a video on it because it's kind of a little sketch. And y'all let me know if y'all had ever had a vehicle that y'all had to do this to. But we had to disconnect the rod that does from the gear shifter to the transmission, pop it off, and manually put it in drive so I can get it home. And I just had to e-brake it and brake it. I couldn't put it back in park, couldn't do anything like that. Just to get it home. I wanted to get it home and not have to pay a tow bill or anything like that. So y'all let me know if y'all ever done anything like that. I didn't want to put it on film because everybody be like, oh, that's sketch. That's, that's crazy. Why would you do that? And, So now I'm thinking about me and my wife. We sat down. We've been talking. I'm going to try to get me a new truck. It'll be new to me. I don't know if I'll get a brand new one. We bought her car brand new, but I don't see the way the vehicles are nowadays. I mean, if you can get one a couple years old with still low mileage, I think you're better off than just buying it right off the lot. Because as soon as you pull that bad boy off the lot, it's not going to be worth what it is anyway. So, a couple years old truck, might be looking at the 2500s nowadays instead of the 250s. I don't know. I'm dabbling in both of them, seeing what kind of deal I can find. But Let me see. Chad will be here later. He's doing push-ups. Yeah, I get it. Yep. I think it was like 2 million percent humidity up here today. Yeah, I feel you, brother. I feel you, Dalton. It was hot. It's the white crusty now. Yeah, it is. It ain't white lightning. It's white crusty. That's for sure. Felt good in Georgia, Augusta, Georgia. It was a cool 98 today. Wow, 98. Woo! Yeah, it was hot today too, man. I think there was clay and it was close, pretty much close to 100 today is what they were giving us. So yeah, pretty crazy. So what's y'all thoughts on that, y'all? Put it in the comments, man. Let me know what y'all think I should do about the truck. It's a 2006. It's a 20-year-old truck. I've had it for about 5 or 6 years, and that's why I put up on here on the title, when is the best time in your business, years, months, to invest to upgrade your truck. Now, I have a truck, and I can try to work on it, get it fixed, and, it probably wouldn't cost that much to get it fixed, but I'm constantly dumping money in this truck. I'm constantly dumping money in it. So eventually, do you feel like eventually over time, is it a better investment just to go ahead and get a nicer, newer truck, than constantly dumping parts off into a 20-year-old truck, So, and it's diesel. Everything that you buy is high on it. It's super expensive. Even if you're taking it to a mechanic or something, it's super expensive. So let's see. Black Smoke said, fix it. Oh, I'm going to fix it, and I'm going to turn around and probably sell it on Facebook or whatever. I thought about doing that, fixing it. Would you go with diesel or gas? I would probably go back with diesel. I know it's kind of crazy to say. I've talked to a lot of my buddies that have diesel, and since I've had a diesel and trying to go back to a gas, a lot of people's telling me that I won't like it as far as the pulling goes and all that kind of stuff. But, man, diesels are so expensive to work on. So get another truck, Lee. It's 20 years old. They don't make them like they used to. Exactly. So, I'm hesitant on what should I do, That's kind of got me, I didn't pay a whole lot for that truck. I bought it right before COVID. So I bought it right before COVID, and I paid $6,000 for the truck. I had to turn around and put $900 in it for a Y pipe. And then probably 6 months later, I put a oil cooler on it, which cost me that's parts and labor and all. And my labor was Ricky, and it was like $2,800. Anywhere else would have probably been a whole lot more than that. And then I put, the small stuffs on it. I put batteries in it. I put, a starter on it. I did, because when we did the oil cooler, we went ahead and did the radiator and all. That's why it was that much. So it's got a newer radiator on it, all that kind of stuff. So I'm just, I don't know. I put brake calipers on it, brakes, of course, tires. Everybody knows that. That's what you're going to do to a truck. Oh, and I put a alternator on it. So I put some parts on it and everything, but I'm just, I don't know, man. I'm up in the thing like, man, it's an older truck, and I would like to have something nicer. There's no backup camera. Heck, there's not even a radio in the truck. I took that out years ago, and somebody had a rinky-dink radio in it, and I took it out, and heck, it ain't had a radio in it in a long time. I don't really care too much about that, but I would love to have like the backup camera, the power seats and, all that kind of stuff, would be nice to have, that's just, the luxury of, getting a new truck or whatever. You want to have all that kind of stuff, but do you need it? Do you got to have it? No, it's not something that you need and got to have. So that's why I don't know, what I'm going to do. I'm still up in the air about it because I don't want to have to. Because, man, the trucks nowadays, man, you can buy a new truck, man, and it's got like 100 and something thousand miles on it. They still won't $55,000, $46,000 for it. And I'm like, good night, man. You know, I do well in my business, but, you know, I kind of go back to Ray and Chad and a lot of them, you know, and Tank, you know, that says, you know, hey, you know, you want to save your money, you know, as much as you can, but, you know, you get to a point where you got to have a vehicle, you know, you got to have a truck. So get a new Chevy with a 6.6 V8. I've looked at them too, Tank. I've looked at them 2500s with the 6.6 gas, and you know, I'm not pulling anything super, super heavy either in my business. I'm not pulling a big old skid steer like Ray is, and Ray's got a gas burner F-250, you know, so, but, you know, I'm not pulling anything super, super heavy. So that's one good thing. You know, I have a big skid steer. All my stuff is mini. And, you know, my dump trailer, you know, we'll haul some stuff in it, but not too crazy. So, but yeah, y'all keep me in mind, keep thinking about what I should do on the whole truck situation and everything. And who knows, maybe in the future videos or something like that, you know, y'all might see me with a different truck and have to retire White Lightning. And it's been a good one too. It's hard to let that truck go for real. But so next topic, guys. Now, if anybody's got any suggestions, I put it up at the top like I do on all my lives. If you want to jump in here, get in the live, yeah, we'll talk about it and discuss some things. You know, if you want to get on here, it's Tuesday night. It's not a lot going on, you know. So, yeah, if y'all want to get on here, you can. Like I said, it's pinned up there close to the top comment, and hop on here. But let's see. Next topic that I want to talk about and everything is customers, man. Boy, I had a doozy this week. So I had a lady call me. We do a subdivision back over here. Now, I don't have many subdivisions in my area, you know. I got like 2 that we cut, and there's not many in my town. But I got 2 subdivisions that I cut, and one I do about 7 properties on. The other one we got like 2, and it's right here by my house, really close to my house. Well, I had a lady call me this couple days ago, like 2 days ago. And, or it might have been yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. She called me yesterday and she said, hey, I'm moving up from Fort Myers and I need you to, I would like for you to look at my property and cut it and everything for me. And I said, okay. And, I said, where's it located? She told me where it's located. Straight across the street from one of my yards. I mean, straight across the street. And I was like, okay, let me ride by there. I'll look at it and see what it looks like. I said, my guys are en route today. They'll cut that today if you want them to cut it and get it cut for you. And she's like, well, my son, her son lives up here. He cut it like 4 or 5 days ago. I was like, yeah, but I'm doing weekly. You know, if you want us, I'm cutting the one across the street from you weekly. The grass grows super crazy over there, so we'd have you on weekly. And she said, oh, okay. I said, but it'd be like every Monday or every Tuesday every week, you know, depending on the weather and the rain. We try to get you scheduled in for that. And she said, that sounds great. And so I went by there and looked at it, and it did look like it was cut, but it looked like it could be topped off, you know, to get her on my schedule. But nothing was edged, and it's a corner property. It's got edged all the way around, you know, the roadside, and then coming up the driveway and the sidewalk. None of it's been edged, and it's a brand new house. You know, they just built it probably a year and a half ago. They just had found nobody to buy it, and she bought it. And she's like, okay, well. I called her and I told her what the price would be because I went by there and I said, look, my guys will be out here in a little while. They'll cut it and get cleaned up. She called me about, I don't know, 3 hours later, and she said, hey, did they cut my yard and everything? And I said, yeah, they're already done. They cut it and they edged it and all that. And she said, well, it didn't need done right then. I told you it didn't need done. I said, no, the last conversation we had was you said it was okay. Your son was going to bring me a check and put it under the doormat there. And to go ahead and get you on the schedule, we'd go ahead and knock it down and then go ahead and edge it. I told you it hadn't been edged. We'd edge it for you and everything. So that came about back and forth, and I said, look, you know what? And this is probably the worst thing I could ever do. But I'm thinking still, I was like, if I get her on here, she's right across the street from my yard. I'll knock a little bit off, didn't knock off much. And I said, look, but we did edge it and all that. So you need to pay for that, and then next week it'll be on a rotation or whatever. And that'll be what the price is. She's like, she said, for just the edging and doing all that, that's what you're going to charge. I said, we did everything. We ran over everything. I'm just giving you a little discount, trying to be nice. And she's like, okay. Well, I went by there today because that's when her son was supposed to leave me a check, and there was no check there. And I called her. And I said, hey, just letting you know, has your son ran by here to give me a check or something, And she goes, oh, well, he ain't going to give you a check. And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, I told you it didn't need cut or whatever. So why did you go over there and cut it? And I'm like, no, you didn't. I'll sit there and talk to you on the phone when I was doing it. And you were okay with it. You said it was fine. So I said, you know what? Don't even worry about it. Okay. Don't worry about it. Okay. It's fine. Okay. I'm going to take this loss, but you're going to see my guys every week out here cutting the yard across from you. Do not stop and talk to them. Do not contact me or them. Don't worry about it. We're done, And she's like, oh, well, I don't want no hard feelings or whatever because I am going to need somebody when I get moved up there or whatever. I said, well, you better find somebody else. I said, you said something about the price every single time, and then you said, okay. And I said, you need to find Chuck down the road because he's around here, I promise you. You need to go find him and call him and tell him to come take care of this because we don't have time and we don't want to deal with it. I don't want to bother with it no more, So pretty much my guys went over there and did work for free, and we didn't make a single dime. And I was furious, dude. I was so mad, guys. And, I would never do this or whatever. I told my wife, I said, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to spray about 1.5 feet. All the curb lines, up the driveway, everything. I'm going to spray and kill it all. About 1.5 feet out into the yard. Down the whole thing, because that's mainly what we were doing and all that, I would never do that or whatever, but boy, it ticked me off, man. I was so mad. Let me know if y'all got any situations and stories like that too, man. Because, yeah, man, I was pretty heated about that one or whatever. But I told her, I don't care if you're right across the road from one of my yards, if you're next door to one of my yards. I'm not playing games with money and having my guys over there work, and then you don't fulfill your obligations and all that, and I take it my fault. I'm 17 years in, guys. I know better. I know a whole lot better than what I did. And I tried to tell her too. I was like, look, you need to kind of pay me up front because you're a new customer. I don't really, do the work. And, that's just how I do in my business. I don't know how a lot of y'all are, but I usually like to get paid up front if it's a new customer. If they're not there, I'll be like, look, we'll take pictures and I'll show you we cut the yard and all that kind of stuff, for a new customer. But I really need paid up front. I don't want to get scammed, and I know you don't want to get scammed, So this situation, I tried to tell her that she didn't have Cash App, she didn't have Venmo, PayPal, she didn't have none of that. So she's like, I'll write you a check and send it in the mail, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just get it done for you, and then we'll work from there. So I take a little bit of blame for it, for the whole situation and what all went down. But I was not happy about it. I'll tell y'all that. Not one bit. So that happened yesterday. So I was a little upset yesterday. I was a little upset today because all that went down. So anybody got anything they want to share in the comments about that event, or did I Did I take too long explaining that? Bore y'all or what? So I'm firing customers daily. Hey man, you get to a point in your business and you get a point in your life, Tom, I totally agree with you, because I was like, you know what? Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about the little bit of money, because I told her, I was like, look, I'm not going to lose my business over this by no means. This is extra. This is already extra on top of the yards I pick up this year. This is extra. And she was like trying to backtrack, and she's like, no, when I come up there and next weekend or something, I'll go ahead and pay you, and I'm sorry for the misunderstanding. By then I was done. I was like, look, I don't care. I don't want your money, man, but don't stop and talk to my guys. And when you see them out there, don't do any of that, because we don't care. We don't care. It's over. I'm not going to play games. Not at all. He said, I wish I was better. Dalton said, I wish I was better about getting money up front. Mentally, I drive myself crazy having somebody money first, though. I like being paid after I got the job done. Yeah, I'm the same way, but like the new customers or whatever, if they're not there or whatever, I like to get paid. Like I said, I'll take a picture or something and show them we done the yard and all that. But I get what you're saying there, Dalton. Like, I don't get paid for a lot of the landscaping jobs we do, If it's not a super, super big yard job or whatever, I don't even require a deposit or anything, So I get what you're coming from on that. I'm the same way. Now, if they're there and they're already a customer, I got a lot of customers that end up going double up. They'll wait till the next week to pay me, or the next week, So, what's up, Ray? What's going on, dog? Yeah, welcome in here, man. Hey, I'm gonna touch base on a little bit of stuff that you said too, Ray. I do watch your videos a lot. I might not comment a lot, but I do hit the like. And the last video, I actually hyped you. So, yeah. But what you were talking about, a lot of things in the last video, it's pretty cool. Especially that you said that about the guy up in Kentucky or whatever. I get, where the spending and all that can go into a thing. Look who we got, man. Can't get enough of him. What's up?
What's up, Lee? I hopped on here because I have two questions that I need some opinion. I'd like to have yours opinions, and if Ray wants to hop on here too, I'd like to get his opinion on this as well, because he's been in the business since the earth was warm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but anyway, the first one is a situation I ran into today. This is actually something that it started about 3 weeks ago. We had all that rain. We had a monsoon 2 weeks ago, and Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday I couldn't work, and I work 4 days a week in my business, Monday through Thursday, save Friday for landscaping and rain days and things like that. Well, could only work Monday and Tuesday, and it backed me up. And last week, that's why I got 61 done, is because I started the week behind the 8 ball. I started 2 days behind. And so I went ahead and got everybody caught up last week, and I was up front with everyone. Let them know, hey, I got you caught up, but I'm coming again. These are bi-weekly customers. Most of my stuff is bi-weekly. And let them know up front, like, look, I'm going to go ahead and get you knocked out this week, but I'm coming again next week to get you back on the normal schedule. Because I can't do 61 every week. My son's about to go to school. He's about to start back school, and I ain't going to have no help. That's not something I can do. I'm not built like some of these guys out here. But yeah, sent everybody their email tonight, and had 3 customers email me back and was like, yeah, you just came last week. And two of them, I told them, I was like, yeah, but like I told you last week, I got you caught up, and I was coming back this week to keep you on the same schedule. And they were like, oh yeah, that's right. And they were good with it. But one of them is not good with it. They want me to come back in 2 weeks. So it's going to be 3 weeks since they got their last cut. Now I got thinking about it, and I told her up front, I said, look, that's fine. But if I come back and it's overgrown, I'm charging you extra. There's going to be an overgrown fee attached onto it, because this is your fault. This isn't Mother Nature here.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I got to thinking about it, man.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I got to thinking about it. That was 3 customers that tried to buck me on that, and I'm like, man, if that had been 3 customers that told me no, that could have been a third of my route, third of my revenue for the day. And I'm like, man, I got to figure something out about this. I got to figure out a way to keep this from happening. And I'm wondering if you have any thoughts on that, and
My
maybe
only
Ray
thought-
could join in too.
Yeah, Ray, if you want to join in on it and everything too. My thoughts on that is because we've been doing weeklies and we've been trying to push around. So, even if it's a bi-weekly, I had to deal with this with the guy that owns the marina and everything. So I went through the same situation with him. And what I told him is, look, I was 3 days late cutting yours, and his is bi-weekly. So what is that, 17 days? Okay, well, now I'm 3 days early cutting it to get you back on the right schedule. So in all, it's the same. It doesn't matter. I can't help what the weather done to us and pushed us back. And then you're going to try to skip in and get a whole nother extra week added onto it. That don't work. And I told him my schedule don't even work like that. You're going to have to fall back where you was in that week or in that bi-weekly schedule. If not, I don't switch my schedule up throughout the season. Once the schedule's set, it's set. And I've done that with even some weeklies. Like we went 3 days late on a weekly, and bam, we came back and cut them on the 4th day. 4 days later, and cut them again. And the customers are fine with it because they understand. A lot of the customers understand, but you will have that selective few, and that's what you're dealing with. 3 customers that's probably averaging, low on what you have, but you will have them customers that will try to what they're trying to do is they're trying to gain a little bit from having to come out and cut it and not make that payment.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, it's going to take one of your cuts away, and that's big.
That's exactly right.
And I ain't going to let that happen, And I tell them we'll fall back into wherever we need to fall in. I can't help what Mother Nature does or whatever. Now, if it's my fault, why I can't get to it, and it's been dry at your yard, and I'm not on a consistent schedule, yeah, then yell at me and wonder why I'm doing it. But if it's raining for 4 days straight or 3 days straight, and you want me to try to get on your same schedule with all the rain, yeah, kick rocks.
Yeah, and that's what I was telling Buster earlier today. It took me a minute to get it through his head because the way his stuff, he runs his stuff a little bit different than I do mine. And we all run our businesses differently. But at the end of the day, we all deal with the same thing. You know what I mean? And talking to Buster's kind of tough, man, because everybody's got their rich friend. I love Buster to death, but I consider him my rich friend, man. I mean, of course he's not rich, but he's a solo operator, and he's cutting 120 yards by himself, man. He's got to be making good money. Yeah, and he's landscaping too. So, you can just imagine what he's turning in a year by himself. But anyway, talking to him, a lot of it he doesn't understand, but at the end of it, he kind of got what I was saying. He was like, no, that's a problem there, Tank. You got to do something about that, dog. And I'm thinking the same thing. And kind of like you said, at the end of the year, you're losing a cut. Now, for that, if it's only one cut in the whole business that I'm losing. Yeah. So far.
What if it happens? What if it happens multiple times in a year?
That's exactly right. And what if it's multiple customers? Because I've still got my Thursday route too. I haven't emailed those guys until tomorrow afternoon. Yeah. What if it happens with them and I have 5 or 6 people, and then what if next week we get another rain for 5 or 6 days straight, and it happens again, and I'm back in the same situation? And not only am I losing money.
Yeah.
Not only am I going to be losing money, but the next time I come out to mow those properties, it's already been 3 weeks. If I get rained out again, that's going to put them 4 weeks behind. Imagine what their lawn is going to look like at that point.
Yeah, and you know what? They don't care about that. You know, this is what customers get me all in my history of cutting grass or whatever. If I'm late on cutting them, because I was like that in the beginning of the stage, I would be like, oh, okay, because I bow down, you know, because I needed them. You know, my business is big now. I needed them, so I bow down and be like, okay, so it's gonna be 4 weeks before I come to cut your yard, you know, and then I'm out there struggling with my mowers, trying to cut this thick grass, running over it twice, running over it 3 times. But get this. We're in a drought. It's August, September, and I'm out there cutting our yard. Oh, well, we need to skip this week. We need to skip this week. You don't really need it out there or whatever. And I'm like, bull crap. Do you see how much I struggled, you know, in the springtime and the early part of the summer cutting your yard? I about blew my engines up on my mowers trying to cut your yard. This is the gravy train. This is what you better keep me for, you know?
Yeah, that's gone. Exactly right. That's exactly right. It kills me. I go through this every single year with 2 customers in particular. They think their grass just magically stops growing at the end of August. And I'm like, dude, we live in the South. We live in East Central Georgia. We have Bermuda grass. Bermuda, I don't know about all over the country, but in my area, Bermuda does not go in 100% dormancy until the first or second week of December.
Well, it has to have that first or second frost, you know?
Yeah. And the way things have been going this year with the weather, we may even have a longer cutting season than what we've ever had.
Yeah.
So, but I go through that every single year with those 2 customers in particular. And I'm like, dude, I'm telling you right now, if you cut services right now, do not call me in the spring because I'm not coming. Yeah. Your grass is going to be 1.5 feet tall, and I'm not cutting your grass. I'm not cutting your 1.5 foot grass for $70. It ain't happening.
Yeah. And but you know, we say that, we say kick rocks, we say do all that or whatever. We could be replaced, you know. I can be replaced.
We can.
I can by anybody, and that's fine, you know. And my wife, you know, there in a couple of years, you know, the last couple of years, she's like tiptoeing around these customers or whatever, and I'm like, I gained so many customers out throughout the year or whatever. Sometimes I'm letting customers go or sending them to other lawn care companies or whatever. I don't have to deal with that. You know, I'm in a point where my career, my business or whatever, I don't have to deal with the customer. Now, not saying that I'm being mean to my customers or whatever, but it's fair. You know, if I'm out there every 2 weeks, you got you on a schedule. I got to keep you on that schedule. I'm going to do whatever I can. If we're out there in the rain cutting your yard or whatever, you know, we're trying to please you completely. So don't take you know, meals and food off my table. You know, money out of my mouth or anything, whatever I'm trying to explain, you know, just because, you know, it's not growing now as much, you know what I'm saying? You only want me there when it's like in the thicket, you know, and then you just want to cut me off, you know. I've winged them out over the years, Tank, completely. Them type of customers, you know, gone.
Yeah, I've just about gotten rid of all those 2. I've only got 2 left that are still like that. And I bitch and moan and raise hell until I get my way with them. But, and I don't like calling people weak, but they're weak enough to where I can normally get my way with them. Sooner or later, it's going to come back and I'm going to have to cut ties with them because I just can't deal with it.
Yeah, no, I get it. Let's catch up on some of these questions. Dalton said, I moved most of all mine bi-weekly to weekly over the last few weeks with all the rain we've got. So I can keep up. These weedy yards, they get thick, and he's right. These yards are getting extremely thick right now. Hey, we're struggling right now, dude. Dude, my yard hadn't been cut in 3 weeks, and I got 5 acres we cut here. They had to cut my yard on a 4 just to even make it look decent. And then they're going to come back out this week and cut it again, and then I'm going to try to get them back on the, you know, the right schedule. But like I told Roberto and them, I said, cut that crap at a 4. If they tried to cut that at a 3 or 275 or whatever, they'd have broke so many belts on my yard. I mean, your mowers can only handle so much. You know, you can't just sit there and just say, you know, even you got to tell the customers that, like, look, I can't cut your yard at a 275 right now. The grass is growing phenomenally crazy right now. That's why you need to have me coming out here weekly. Even weekly, I'm not going to cut it at a 275. I'm going to be at a 325, but it's going to look good, you know, until we get through all this weather. And they're showing rain 4 days next week, like 45, 50% every day next week in my area. And I'm like, gosh, please quit raining.
Hey, you say that, man, but I'm not going to lie to you. I'm very pleased with the rain. I really am, because normally this time of year we can't buy a raindrop.
Oh, I know. I get it. I get it. I've been in business a long time. I know what you're
Yeah.
saying. I'm
And
scared. What you were talking about earlier, I'm scared we're going to extend our season out. You know, we do leaves too, just like y'all. But I can't stand when the leaves are falling and the grass is still growing, because then you're trying to use your mulch kits to mulch up grass and leaves, and that's horrible, dude. That's so horrible. You know, then I
yeah,
need bagger systems like you have. You know.
I was gonna say that's when you should have kept that walker, Lee. Speaking of the
Look,
walker,
go
go ahead.
ahead. Well, I
Go
was
ahead,
going to
bud.
read let me read the next couple of comments in here so we can catch up. I always look at like what else more lucrative going on. It's a judgment call, really, like what it costs you, and how I feel about customers. Sometimes I win, sometimes, and sometimes they win. Let's see. Let's see what's the next one. I gotta win sometimes, and if I feel disrespectful, I will move on and tell them why and try to explain why. It's the same thing what we're talking about, what Ray's saying. You
That's
know,
yeah,
he's
that's
got
a
to
fair
win
way
a
to
little
think.
bit too. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's a good way to think about it. Every now and then they got to throw you a bone.
yeah. What's up, Mayberry? Mayberry,
But
mowing man.
I'm gonna tell you about the walker real quick, and then I'm gonna get to my second question for you. Uh, the walker, you know, sometimes you got a lot of yards that's got a lot of Dallas grass, Johnson grass, crabgrass, Bahia, all that crap mixed in together. And you know
Hmm.
how that stuff is, man. It holds so much moisture, it
Yeah.
clumps up real bad.
Well,
And
it'll be towards the evening time before it even tries to dry, you know, and then you're
yeah,
getting the dew on it again.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, go
And
ahead.
a lot of times when it's clumped up like that, you'll have to run over it 3 or 4 times to get it to disperse those clumps and grass clippings evenly.
Mhm.
Well, I figured out today, and I probably should have figured out this a long time ago, but I have my youngest son with me again. And the way we've been doing it is he'll cut the backyard, I'll cut the front. I'm on the front because people want their front yards looking good for road frontage, you know, or whatever you want to call it. But he, I told her we were sitting in the truck at this yard, and it was just a tore up yard. I despise this yard. I dread it every time I go over there. And because it's one of those yards, you've got to run it over 3 or 4 times in the backyard because they don't have treatments in the backyard. And
Mhm.
I told him, I said, let me try something on the backyard. You take care of the front. And what I did was I put the walker in the backyard, set it on 3 inches, and I opened the hopper up because, you know, the walker, not only does it have the decks, the blades under the deck, but it's also got that blower, which is shredding those grass clippings up as well.
Mhm.
Man, I ran that thing over 1 time. That was it. And it looked like, yeah, I mean, it just looked beautiful, striped up nice. And I was like, why didn't I think of this before? I mean, it saved me 30 minutes, Lee. I'm not lying. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. But look, I tell my customer, if you're bi-weekly or whatever, we don't double cut. They
Really?
got it. Yeah, I don't, man. I don't. Been in business too
Hey,
long, man.
hey, if it
If it's
works for you,
if it haze up on the top, if it bunches up, hey, move us to weekly. We'll make it look better. Bi-weekly right now with all the grain and everything we got going on. Hey, one pass, man. I sharpen my blades twice a week. One pass, and we gone. One
I don't
pass
know
down,
what it
one pass,
is.
one pass down, one pass back. We gone.
I don't know what it is about my area, man. I have offered to knock off $20 per service for a lot of my customers to just go to weekly service, and they're like, "No, I don't want weekly." But
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, it's gonna cost you $40 extra at the end of the month. I'm like, come on,
yeah.
man. And they're like, I don't want weekly. I'm like, all
You
right,
don't
whatever.
know. You don't know about me. It's the same price. It's the same price if it's weekly or if it's bi-weekly. I'm cutting the same acreage. You know, I'm running over the
Yeah.
same amount of. I'm running over the same square footage, and we're mowing and weeding. We're doing everything. We're just doing it more often for you. You know.
Well, well, I mean, you said it yourself. You're not double cutting nothing. So around here, you got double cut it. You ain't gonna have no customers. I mean, it is what it is. And I ain't
I go
knocking you
back.
for it, man. If it
No,
works for
no,
you, hey,
no. I get it. I get it. All areas are not the same. I get that, but I don't know. It's just too much time, and I feel like the money ain't right there. Whatever. If you're going to have me double cutting your yard and all that, spending all that fuel and time for my guys and everything, I'm just like, I'll go back and survey. So I told my wife several times, I'll go back to work for the man if I have to. If I can't make a living out here doing it the way I've been doing it, just because we're getting enormous amount of rain now than what we ever. I mean, this is the biggest rain that we've had in later season. You know, usually we're flooded out in April, May. We're flooded out. Right now, we would be balling right now. You know, we're not having to worry about rain and stuff, but the way it hit this year and it's later season, and then the heat, the sun, the grass is on fire right now. Hey, let me come
It's
earlier.
insane. Yeah, it's insane.
I'll run a whole nother crew. I'll run a whole nother crew if everybody goes weekly. I don't care.
I don't know if any of y'all ever watch Mike Gibson, but he's big on TikTok and YouTube. I watch him for entertainment purposes only. He's not somebody you need to follow for any tips. But he was talking about he fired somebody today because they got mad at him for coming 2 days early because he wanted to go on vacation. Now, I hate to say it. I don't normally agree with anything he says, but I hate to say it. I agree with him 100% on that. Like, dude, it's 2 days. Come on, man.
Yeah,
I'm allowed to go on vacation with my wife, right? I mean, come on. Golly.
Yeah, Roberta's going on vacation Friday, guys. Yeah, y'all put y'all's guys on vacation during the summertime. Do you let your employees go in the summertime to go off on vacation? Because I do. He's got kids. He's got kids. He wants to let them go to the beach before school starts back August the 12th. So he said, "Hey, boss man, I need off Friday and Sunday. I'll be back work Monday." I said, "Where are you going?" He said, "Pensacola, Florida." I said, "Have fun, dog. We'll see you when you get back. We'll make it work."
I don't even give myself a vacation. You asking me if I give other people a vacation. What you talking about, man? Get out of here.
Let's catch up on some of this stuff because Ray's been throwing it down here. He said he needs to come on live. Ray, come on and pop in here on live. I'm reading all your comments. I will tell them I need a bone every now and then. You're exactly right. We need a bone every now and then too. Got to tell our customers that. Help me out while I'm helping you out. That's why we push later in the season and all that kind of stuff. All my yards are clumping with lifted decks and deck up a couple of settings and disperse the clumps out. I get that. Yeah, just raise the deck up a couple times, run over again. It'll shoot them out a little bit further and disperse them or whatever. But, hey, we do what we can. You know what I'm saying? I hate weekly. It knocks my flow and efficiency. If everyone on my route ain't weekly, you know, best summer everly. Hey, this is the best summer. If everybody in here that cuts grass or whatever is not busy right now, something's wrong, because right now that grass is on fire in my area, and I'm sure it is in Georgia and all that too. I see y'all's grass y'all cut. It's thick.
Yeah, if they ain't busy right now, they ain't holding their mouths right.
Yeah, exactly. You should go around anywhere and pop up jobs. I'm getting calls left and right sometimes, and I'm like, look, I'm sorry, man. We're full, you know. And I do pick up some. I picked up picked up like 3 more this week, you know. So and my guys are still getting it done, you know. And I'll talk to y'all about something here in a second too that, you know, we've talked about before on the channel about situations if you think it's a good deal. And he ain't gave me no numbers yet, but we'll talk about it. Let's see. What's up, Brandon? I'm south of D.C. in a wealthy area, and I can't get people to go weekly. Dang. Can't get them to go weekly. 20 of my 26 are weekly right now. I hear you, Dalton. If these 6 don't stop acting up, they're going to find a chuck in a truck, laugh out loud. Exactly. That's what I told that lady. Go find Chuck in the truck. She probably didn't know what I was talking about. I was like, he's down the road. Just call him. He'll come over there and cut it for $25. Yeah. He'll come cut it for $25, and you'll be calling me every year because he ain't showing up. Something's messed up. Something's broke on his equipment. You know, he had, he's probably in jail because he didn't pay his child support and all that kind of stuff. You know, I've heard all kinds of stuff. I made it today. Enjoy your channel. Thanks, Taylor. Appreciate it. Taylor? Tar Heel sent me 440 joules. All right. I don't know what that means. My wife sent me. I don't know. I have no idea. My wife sent me some in Sunday's live, and I was like,
"Is it money?"
Woo! I don't think it's money. I don't know what it is. It says Unk Alert. Unk Alert. Uh-oh. calling me Unc now. I'm 41. I'm grandpa. What are you talking about? I got a kid that's having a kid in November. I'm pop now. I flew past Unc. Now, I've been Unc for a while, man. My wife's kids and my brothers and them's had kids. So, yeah. My wife's sister's kids, what I should say. I got a mulch job to quote tomorrow. This rain makes everything grow. Money sign, baby. That's what I'm talking about. I can't come on tonight. Oh, I need a, where's a, hang on. Let me see if I can do something. I don't think that was the booing one, but I wish I had the booing. Could you hear that?
No.
Oh, I don't know what's wrong with my thing, man. It's acting up for some reason.
You got your soundboard over there?
Yeah. When I bought the mic and all that, it came with a soundboard and all kinds of stuff. I'm fancy now, dude. Podcast fancy, man. You know? Live stream.
High rolling.
I don't know how to work it, though. That's why it ain't working. So.
High rolling, big money grip over there.
Yeah,
man,
moving people to weekly and doing one swap cuts, man. Big rolling over here.
You really gonna be rolling? You start spraying people's stuff a foot and a half into the yard. What I'm talking about.
You caught that, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
What's going on, Jeff? Dude, she made me so mad. Dude, I told my wife I was going to do that. And she's like, "No, you ain't." I was like, "I'm not," but I want to. I want to make her pay for something, you know. Go find somebody to fix that crap. We went over there and the thing ain't been edged. You know, it's the ones where it's got the strands all down the curb and all that, and you're cutting and cleaning it all up. Dude, it made me so mad. Ugh.
I've had two people threaten to not pay me in the past. One of them, I threatened them with turning them over to collections, and they paid me and gave me a tip. And then I had another one threatened not to pay me, and I told them if they didn't pay me, I was going to dump that hopper out in their front yard, right in the middle of it. And they paid me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tar Heel said, "I don't know what it means either. It said I earned them and I can send them to you." Well, send them on. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe it'll bump my channel up a little bit. Maybe I'll be a big dog in here with Tank and Ray and Chad and Tom and Jeff, you know.
Everybody except for Tank Lee. You need to move forward, not backwards. Don't come back to my level.
Big money grip, Stanford and Son references. Love it. Tank. Yeah, he popped on my channel. He popped on my channel this week, man. I appreciate the subscribe that Chad brought him over to my channel. Tell him, Chad's been putting it in his videos last couple videos. Best live show around. Best live show in the game. I don't know about that. Mayberry? Yeah. He came from Chad, so he said. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
I grew up on Sanford and Son.
Oh yeah, I did too, man. I love that show.
Absolutely. Good. If you don't like Red Fox.
Yeah, I watched all them oldies, man, like Leave It to Beaver and Gunsmoke, Bonanza, all of them. My uncle back in the day, he'd be sitting there watching them, man. I'd be in there watching them westerns and black and white shows with him.
And you wonder why people call you Unc.
I know, exactly.
But now, anyway, my next question, man, what do you do about friends, neighbors, and relatives? Do you work for them? And if you do you charge them?
My neighbor over here, he's a good buddy of mine. I do charge him. But he quit me one time. And got one of his buddies to cut his property. And then it didn't work out. And then he called me back, and I went up on him. I told him it'd be $100. He's like, "What?" I was like, "Yep. $100, dog. I'm sorry. If you want me to continue cutting it." And it was only $50, and then he fired me. It was $50. He fired me, got one of his buddies to cut it, and they did it for like a half a season. He called me back, started cutting it, or he wanted me to come back and cut it, and I said, "It's $100 now, dog." And I've had him ever since. He's fine with it. He said, "I ain't letting you go again, dude. You're expensive to call back." I'm like, every single time. Hey, and that's one thing I'll tell you too, Tank. Any customer ever drops me and they call me back, I add good. I add the price good because, hey, that grass guy went greener on the other side. Why are you calling me back,
Yeah, I go up at least $10 anytime someone calls me back.
Yeah. My wife said bail out of jail way more expensive than $85 yard of spraying it. If they got cameras around or something, and they see me doing it, yeah. Getting bailed out of jail is probably a little bit more than an $85 yard.
Yeah, but you could smile all the way to the jailhouse, though. I mean,
I would.
I would too, man. That'd be so satisfying.
My wife don't understand that. She's like, why you go to jail and all that? I was like, I'll be so happy. I'll be like, woo, I'm going to jail because this idiot wouldn't pay me. My wife, she's sitting there. I know she's like with you. Me and you are the same. She's like, y'all are wrong. Y'all are wrong.
Hey, man, that's like that guy you just fed up with him, and you've been giving him all kinds of slack because you ain't trying to go to jail. Next thing you know, you says the wrong thing, and he ain't got no more teeth left in his mouth. You know what I mean? It's got to be satisfying.
It's got to be. You can only take so much. You like me and you. They can only poke the bear so much.
Yeah,
and the bear's gonna bite back.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Exactly right.
Ray said, I love Sanford and Son. Jeff said, I charge everybody. I don't do nothing free. I did discount my father-in-law. Yeah, see, I discount like my mother-in-law. Y'all didn't even see it. I didn't make a video. I just dug 27 holes for my mother-in-law to plant some plants with the mini eggs. Like I said, I don't show everything. So
the reason I'm asking all this, all of my neighbors right here, I have a rule in my business. If you live on either side of me, one house down from me, or if you live in the 3 or 4 houses in front of me, I won't do work for you. Just because simple fact, I'm really good friends with all of my neighbors. We're really close, and I don't want to jeopardize any of that. I'm more than welcome. I'm more than glad to help anybody. But as far as doing stuff like that, I will not do any kind of work. But family, I don't charge my family. I mean, I do have an aunt that's a real estate agent, and I do work for her a lot, and her clients pay me. But I've never asked a dime from her. I used to cut my mom's yard, and I'm sorry, man, if you're charging your mama, you need your ass whooped. Simple as that.
Exactly.
But I would never charge my mama, and I would never charge my mother and father-in-law. But
yeah, I try not to charge them or anything. They make me take the money or whatever, and I'm like, dude, I'm not taking the money.
No.
And like last time they tried to give me extra money that they already bowed down to them and said, all right, I'll take it. And then I helped them plan it, and she walked in the house, got more money out, tried to give it to me, and I'm like, no, you're about to take my kids to vacation this weekend for a grandparents' weekend vacation. Give the money to them and spend it for them or whatever. Quit giving me money.
Well, mom and dad took care of you when you were sick and changed your diapers and everything else. I mean, that's the least you can do is do their yard work for them when they're too old to do it,
Yeah.
But
I agree.
But also, I've got a buddy of mine. He's a landscaper. He doesn't do maintenance, but he does everything else, like irrigation, sod, hardscape, drainage, all that stuff. And if I have any sort of issues with anything, like a sprinkler, for instance, if I tear up a sprinkler head and I just don't have time to fix it, he's the kind of guy I can call. He'll go there, knock it out, won't charge me a dime. But here for the past 2 months, I've been cutting his yard, and he feels awful because I'm not charging him anything. And we have that type of relationship. He doesn't charge me for anything, and I don't charge him for anything. And now he's done got to the point where he feels bad. He's like, man, I feel like I owe you something. And I don't know. That's just the way I was raised, man. You don't charge family, friends, and neighbors. And so I'm thinking about me and him sitting down and just coming up with a plan, a weekly maintenance plan, and maybe, I don't know, 150 a month or something like that. Which is
See, I cut my mother-in-law's lake property and everything, and I'm sure y'all saw it in films and stuff before in my video. I don't charge them anything, but they agreed. I said, look, I ain't gonna charge y'all nothing, and then they came back and said, look, we're gonna pay y'all cell phone bill, and I'm like, whatever. If you want to pay my cell phone bill, you can. So they pay mine and my wife's cell phone bill. I don't have a cell phone bill, and it's been like that for years. But I was like, look, I can pay my own cell phone bill. I can pay my own bill. Just let me cut your property or whatever. And it's just one of them things where they don't want to, they don't want to accept anything free either. So I'm like, all right, pay my. And they got it on a big family plan. So
I think a lot of it.
Pretty expensive.
Yeah, I think a lot of it with parents and mother and father-in-law and things like that. I think a lot of it has to do with is you're the father of their grandchildren, and they know that the money you make is going into their mouths and the food, the clothes that go on their back. So
Yeah,
they're wanting to make sure that you can do that. I think that's what a lot to do with that is. But
it
I'm
is.
the
It
same.
is.
I'm the same way with aunts and uncles and stuff like that. I won't charge anybody in my family.
Hmm.
That's
But
just me. I won't.
man, but man, oh man, some family members though, whatever, they get a little peaky sometimes. So we could talk about that side of it a little bit
Yeah.
too.
Now,
You know.
if you abuse it, yeah, yeah. Don't take my
Yeah,
kindness for weakness now, because I can be a jerk.
yeah, yeah. That's what I'm getting, man. I've had some of them, man. I've had some of them that, oh man, and I have to tell my wife, like, look, we got to tell them we got to not do their yard no more because
Yeah.
you know.
Oh yeah.
They're getting a little picky, you know, and we're trying to do something for free for them, you know, keep it cleaned up for them and everything. So
Hey,
you
get
have
out of my
them,
face.
you have them.
Oh
Let's
yeah.
see. Let's catch back up. My aunt wrote a check and slipped it in my truck. I never deposited it. That's what I'm talking about, Ray. Yep. They try to hide it and try to squeeze that money in there somewhere, and then you know you just give it back to them or hide it back in their in their house somewhere, something like that. Yet I see the DoorDash order or grocery delivery multiple times every single day. Laugh out loud. I just try to annoy that part. I got you.
Look at Ray's last comment.
Let me see. I'm reading it. He said, my cousin are another story. I got like 30 of them. Yeah, man, that'd be your whole business, dog.
God, dog, you got 30 cousins, Ray? Lord have mercy.
Man, boy, they were throwing. They were in the bedrooms more. They were out working about that time around.
Yeah, are they really your cousin, Ray, or is it people you just call cuz? Like, what's up, cuz?
What's up, cuz? It says all of my family is over 9 hours away. I do the bush trimmings for half of them every holiday when we travel down and don't charge anyone. Yeah, that's cool. That's pretty cool, man. But it's good you got your family far away, man. That's what I tried to do with my wife when we bought our house. You know, her mom and them, they live about my parents, they live like 30 minutes from us, but her parents live about 7 miles from us. And I'm like, hey, and there was a time where they got a pretty good bit of land. We were thinking about just buying a piece of their land and putting a house on it and everything. And I'm like, I don't live that close to your parents. I'm sorry, but we gotta have a buffer. We gotta have a buffer, you know. So if we get to arguing and everything, you want to run back home to mama or whatever, we ain't gonna allow that. You know, we're gonna
Man,
deal with it.
I'm the same way with my mama too. I don't want to live that close to my mama. I love my mama to death, but no, sir.
No,
Look,
no.
I'm here to tell you, dude. I'm 42 years old, and I'm still scared to death of my mama. I still have I still have flashbacks from them fly swatter whoopings and flip flop whoopings and anything she can get her hands on whoopings.
Extension cord, remote control,
Oh yeah.
like you said, whatever's near my mom back in them days, she was grabbing it. Well, it doesn't matter. It could be the old timey cell phone. Telephone. She's grabbing it off the wall and swiping that thing and trying to hit me with it. Anything she can grab, she's close by.
That's the thing about mamas and sons. You know, sons always grow up to be bigger than their mamas. So there comes a point in time where mamas have to pick up an equalizer. And them equalizers, boy, they don't feel good.
He said, I'm the oldest of all them. My mom had 4 sisters, and they all got 3, 4 kids, and now they got grandkids too. It's a heap of folks, man. It is. It's a big family.
That is a big family. My mom has, including my mom, there's 6 of them, 3 boys and 3 girls, and all of them got kids, and some of their kids have kids too. So
yeah,
we got a pretty big family. We just don't all see each other that often.
Yeah,
but
that's
yeah,
cool. I don't want to get in my situation with all that or whatever. We just stay with the mother-in-law and everything. They're good people. The other side, I don't know. They're out there. So
yeah, I know my mom. She just sold her house right across the river in South Carolina, and past couple of Sundays, me and my 2 boys have been helping her move furniture into storage and everything until she finds her another house. She's staying at the lake inside her camper right now, but she she found a house in my neighborhood that she's interested in. And I told her, I said, Mama, I love you to death, but if you buy a house in my neighborhood, I'm moving back to Hepzibah. And she looked at me like I had 5 heads when I said that. But that's just the relationship me and my mama have. I make it my life's mission to drive my mama insane. As many butt whoopings as I got, yeah, she's got it coming.
I want to touch on something really quick though, since Ray's in here and the video I watched today, the last video, I think he's done, where he's talking about what are you going to do right here with the stand on? What are you going to do right here with the stand on? What are you going to do right here? And he's showing stumps on the ground and everything. I want to touch with Ray on this a little bit since he wants to rant a little bit about the set down from the stand down. Can you not drive that set down with one hand? Can you not drive it with one hand? I can drive it with one hand. I can drive the stand on with one hand. So, like, I'm going to demonstrate. So, this hand's going to be free. This is one of the joysticks. This is the other joystick. I can move that joystick to turn. You get what I'm saying? With one hand. This one's going to be palming one of the handles, and my thumb and this finger can touch the other one. Because, as you know, even with a zero turn, when you bring them together, they're pretty close to each other. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So you can drive that thing with one hand. So I can drive through there and lift that deck up a little bit and drop it back down, just like you're doing with your foot, and just keep on going and keep on moving. So, Ray, it can be done on a stand-on. And I just know he's in there right now just saying, oh, crap, oh, whatever, you know. Oh, you sit down's way better than stand on. I ain't standing all day, you know. But I'll say this, man. It's not like you're standing all day. You can lean on that pad, you know, and it retains the weight. You know, you're just leaning on the stand-on. Yeah, I mean, we do big properties. So if anybody wants to say you're not doing big properties with them stand-ons, they need to come see some of my industrial properties that we're cutting because they're big, way big, and we stand all day long. I mean, we just and I feel you don't get tired throughout the day when you're sitting, you know, because you start getting. I've done it with I had a sit down and a stand on in my business for years. It was just this year I went to 2 stand-ons and no set-down. Just this year, the beginning of this year. Last year I had the Z970 set-down. When I'm mowing for a long period of time, I get stove up, you know. So when I get off of it to go weed eat and all that, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like doing it. But if I'm standing and I'm still going, when I jump off of it, I'm still fatigued. I feel like I can still, you know, conquer the world a little bit. You know, I'm not stove up and just relax like, oh, yeah, man. Don't get me wrong. You know, you can ride around. I wish I had a steering wheel on my mower while I'm cutting 5 acres at my house because the other hand will probably be drinking some drink, you know. I'm just saying, you know, we like the zero turns. They're more they're more efficient and all that. But one day if I don't have a lawn business and I'm cutting my own property, I'm gonna be all right with a steering wheel, you know, and just relax back there drinking a cold brewski, you know.
Gonna be out there with a Cub Cadet lawn tractor.
It wouldn't matter to me at all. Now my lines ain't gonna be straight. My yard probably won't be cut as good as it was when I was doing it professionally, but I don't care. You know, by then it's like whatever, man. I'll go out there every 2 days and cut it. You know, it gives me something to get out of the house and get away from Brittany and just mow and drink a little bit.
He didn't mean that, Brittany. He didn't mean it.
I'm just joking. She knows I'm joking. Dang. I don't even drink. I went off this big spiel about drinking and everything, and I don't even drink.
Yeah. No, I stay out of that kind of controversy because you got some folks you're never going to get them to change their minds about a standard or a sit down. But I think they both got their place. I mean, I had a sit down machine when I started my business, and now I've got 2 standards, and of course I got the walker. That's a sit down machine, but I prefer a stand on mower myself. Yeah. But different strokes for different folks. I mean, it is what it is. It is. I will say though, Ray had Justin out there with his Skag, and they were comparing each other's mowers on that hill, that little bitty baby hill that Ray had out there, acting like and don't shoot me, Ray. I do understand that videos sometimes your phone just doesn't do a hill some justice.
No, it really don't. It really don't.
Yeah, and I've got some monster hills that are. It is. I probably shouldn't even attempt to put a walk behind on, but I do it. I do it with my 61 all the time. But that hill, I'd put my. I mean, just being honest, I would put my 61 or my 36 on that hill, and I would just go as fast as I can on it.
Dalton said, how to use a zero turn 101. We're going back to the basics, Dalton. We are going back to the basics. Look, he's eat up in there right now. He's about to get on live just to chew us both out is what he's going to do. If he ain't figured it out, that's what we're trying to do.
Our plan is a success, Reed.
Right.
The plan is a success, Reed.
He said, don't make me come to Augusta and ride any slope.
Hey, look here. You keep on. I'm going to get old Kentucky Jay on here, and he's going to teach all of us how to do it.
Oh, wow. He's probably in here. He's probably in here. Commented.
Listen, all jokes aside, I did watch that video that Ray put out today. I got to give Ray some props, man. He gave Kentucky a good he gave him an attaboy today. I thought that was pretty cool of him.
Yeah. And it was a good thing. I mean, it was. I watched the video too that he's talking about. I watched it. I mean, the dude's got some sense. He just don't know how to. A lot of times he don't know how to listen a little bit. Maybe just respect your elders just a little bit. I've always heard that, and they'll teach you something if you listen.
Yeah, young and cocky. I've been there before, young and cocky.
Yeah,
you know it all.
I've been there.
Sooner or later, life will hit you square between the eyes, and you'll humble yourself. Life has a way of doing that.
You ever heard the one about the bull?
No, I haven't.
The big bull and the little bull.
I
think it's kind of out there. I'm gonna try to be PG-13 as much as I can with it, but it's kind of basically saying like the little bull wants to run in there with the herd and just get them all, go crazy. And the big bull's like, why don't we just walk in there and we take our time, we get all of them.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah. But I'm just saying, learn a little bit on the whole thing with lawn care. You can't just dive off in there head first and think you're going to be, a success right in the beginning. There's going to be learning curves. There's going to be something that you need to set back, still try to do what you can and get your business going or whatever, but don't just completely rush in there. And the Kentucky guy, Jay, he was making some good thoughts about that. Like he's actually learned a little bit. You can tell in the last year and a half because he's like, hey, don't go buy all this equipment and get yourself in debt because the jobs just don't come flowing in like you think they're going to come in, So he's kind of saying a little bit different than what he said at the beginning of his career. He's starting to see now.
And sometimes it takes that to learn, man. That's how I was. I went out and bought stuff that I had no business buying for my business, and then learned the hard way, like, man, I just wasted my money on this crap. Mm-hmm. But it is what it is. That's knowledge you can pass on to the next person, and it's up to them to do what they will with it. But I will say, to go on top of what Ray was talking about in his video, man, there is a such thing as growing too fast. A lot of people don't realize it, but I'm a firm believer that you can grow too fast. It sounds crazy, and that's the goal, especially when we start our business like I was and like what Dalton is right now. When you're part-time, you still have a full-time job. You may not be as fast as you need to be to get out there and pick up the amount of loans that you need to earn a living off of. And next thing you know, you're going out handing out flyers, door hangers, putting your business cards in all these businesses, and you're running your Facebook ads. You got your Google page, you got a website set up, everything under the sun as far as marketing goes. What are you going to do Not saying that this is going to happen, but it can. And Jonathan down at Florida Turf Pros is a prime example. What are you going to do if you have a full-time job and all of a sudden you pick up 40 customers in your first month of business?
It's not going to be enough to think that you can quit your business. I mean, quit your normal job,
No, absolutely not. You cannot make it off of 40 customers, especially what a lot of markets charge, man, where your minimum is 40, $50. You're not going to make it off of 40 customers if they're biweekly or, half of them's biweekly or half of them's weekly. And then next thing you know, you don't have the speed. If you're still working a full-time job, you don't have the speed to be able to do 40 customers in a week or a 7-day stretch, whether it be 2 or 3 in the evenings and then 10 a day on the weekend. I mean, 10 is not a whole lot of, that's not a lot to do in one day.
But what if you're in the weather like we're in right now? It's raining all weekend. It rained all this past weekend. So then you couldn't do them 20 yards that you were wanting to do this weekend.
That's exactly right. But also, in the grand scheme of things, like somebody just been doing it for a while, 10 properties a day isn't that many. But to a new guy that's starting out, he's starting out with all residential equipment. He doesn't know the tricks to make him faster. And the best he can do is 5 in an 8-hour day. And it's taking him till dark to get 7 or 8 done. So how are you going to do that, man? So you really need to grow slowly. That way, first off, you've got to learn how to do all this stuff and get to a point where when you do go full time, it doesn't take you an hour and a half, 2 hours to cut a 1/4 acre lot.
Did you go straight full time when you started your business? Okay.
No, I was part time for 2 years.
Okay. See, I was way longer than all y'all. I was 10 years before I went full time. 10 full years before I went full time. So I mean, I've only been full time like 7 years. I know that sounds crazy or whatever. Or why did it take you that long to do it or whatever? But man, I don't know. I wish every day that I would have went full time sooner. I really do. I wish I would have. But it just my area is not big. My area that. The stuff just don't come falling off on your lap. You can't gain 40 customers in a year, where I live. It's very hard. I mean, you're gaining probably 6 or 7, properties a year, what I'm saying, where I'm at. I'm a rural country area, Yeah,
the thing that really helped me longer. The thing that really helped me as far as mindset was when I started out, I didn't start my business to make side money. I was making 6 figures in my full-time job. So money really wasn't the issue. And plus at that time, also you had the government forking out money left and right. All them stimulus packages. I mean, back in them days, you know what I'm talking about. But money wasn't the reason that I went out to do this. I went out to do it because I wanted the American dream. But I did have it in the back of my mind, like, man, I'm not sure if I can do this full time, because when I started, man, it was a struggle. It really was. We had a 42-inch residential 0-turn. I couldn't fit that in all the backyards. And again, I went out and bought stuff that I had no business buying. I should have never bought that mower. I should have waited until I picked up a bunch of properties and let that be the deciding factor of what type of mower I needed. And I jumped the gun on that. But we also had a push mower. And man, you can't be out here push mowing lawns and expect to make a living off of it. But that, and we had one trimmer, and it was like the Echo version of the combi system. And we had a curved shaft edger attachment and a weed eater attachment. That's all we had. And so we were doing good. My wife and I, we were doing good to do 5 properties in a day. And that's 2 people. And we were struggling. I'm not gonna lie. And then if somebody wanted their lawn bagged, we were screwed. It was going to take us 2 hours because the only capabilities we had to bag back in those days was with a push mower.
Oh, okay.
And that, like I said, you can't be doing this for a living and push mowing all day long. But then I got to a point where I got better equipment and I started learning tricks and things like that. And then I got to where there would be times where Mama Tank would have something to do, and I would work till nightfall. And I remember there was one day in particular, I did 13 before it got dark. And I said, well, if I could get 13 done in one day, maybe I can make a living out of this. I think I was charging, I think my minimum was like 50 or $60 back then. I can't remember, but 13 properties, we'll just say $60. 13 properties is $60. That's pretty good money in a day for a solo guy. And I was thinking like, man, I probably could do this for a living if I really tried. And then that following year, I did 16 one day by myself. And I was like, yeah, and then I got to a point where I could not take on any more properties. I just did not have the time. And then my full-time job, Cisco, they pushed me out the door, and had to make it work. And even today, you know, I'm still learning tricks and things along the way to make me faster in each property. And you know, it's just like every business. Every property is different. So the more you're on a property, the more tricks you're going to learn for that particular property that's going to make you faster.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You learn the terrain. You learn the area. You learn where you need to start at and where you need to stop at. You know, you learn each property. I mean, it makes you faster, like you're saying. So.
Yeah. But that goes back to what I was saying. You know, there is a such thing as growing. There is a such thing as growing too fast. There is absolutely a such thing as growing too fast, because you just can't pick up 100 properties in your first year and think that you're going to be able to handle it all. And, you know, people say it all the time. When you're first starting out, you need to take on all work. I agree with that 100% to a certain extent, because if you live in a highly populated area, the work is going to come sooner or later. If you're doing a good job, you do what you say you're going to do, and you show up and you communicate, the work is going to come. So you don't have to take on the worst properties if you know it's going to take. If you just don't have the manpower or the equipment, you can't be scared to tell people no.
Yeah. Sometimes you're going to have to say no.
Yeah, or you can take those properties on and start weeding those properties out when you pick up better properties, like trimming the fat, building the top up and dissolving the bottom.
That's what I did for 10 years. I got quality yards, and I built my commercial bid up. That's how I was able to keep growing on the commercial side, because I had a full-time job, you know. I mean, I had a great full-time job. I missed my full-time job till this day. I loved it. I loved doing what I did. I just was paying guys out in the field more than he was paying his helpers working under me. And I said, man, I think it's time for me to go. And he's like, my boss didn't want me to. I ran the crew. You know, I had like 3 or 4 guys under me, you know, every day. They gave me a truck to drive back and forth home. I mean, I was a boss, a big boss for this company. And yeah, he's like, what's it going to take you to stay? And I said, well, at the time I was like about 180 a year. And he's like, can't do that. And I'm like, well, that's where my business is going. I'm sorry. I got to go build my business up even more. So.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that the long guy makes that kind of money.
No,
and that's fine with me. I mean, you can think we're poor all you want. Stay your butt at your full-time job. That's less competition I have to deal with.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I know. I had a guy when I left my full-time job. There was one guy there. Me and him actually got pretty close my last 3 years there, and he had like 30 years in. And he asked me, he said, "Dude, do you really think you're gonna make 6 figures mowing residential properties?" When he said that, I just kind of looked at him, and I had to pull my phone out and bust out Yard Book on him and show him what I made year to date the previous year. And I told him, I said, "Dude, I made that working 2 days a week."
I had to bust mine out, remember, in that live, and I felt like everybody thought I was flexing, and I wasn't flexing. I don't want to flex to anybody, you know, but if somebody wants to know some hard numbers, I'll show you some hard numbers.
It's not a flex. It's just showing people what's possible. You know, if you put your mind to it and you get out here and you bust hell for however many years it takes, man, you can make that kind of money.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not rich by any stretch of the imagination, and I'm not making what you're making, but I'm happy with what I'm making, and I'm comfortable.
Yeah, but I'm not rich, Tank. I got a lot of bills, you know.
Now,
I make
Bunch
good
is rich.
money. Ray mentioned it kind of in a video, and I don't know if he's talking about me or he's talking about these other guys that have 2 guys out in the field doing everything. Yeah, that's a cost. You know, that's off the top. You know, that's you know, I'm paying a guy, you know, $50,000 a year, another one $35,000 a year. I mean, it's $80,000-$90,000 a year I'm paying labor, you know. So you got to look at me and be like, you are making good money. Well, I am making good money, but there's a lot of, you know, I'm making really good. I flexing, but you know, but when you're looking at your, and my margins are good. Like Ray, I'm up in 70, 60% margins, you know, and making what I make is really great, you know, but you're right. Everybody should be right. You can make money in any type of business. It don't have to be lawn care. If you'll get out and hustle and make a good name for yourself, you can make a living on your own. You ain't got to work for the man anymore. You know, that stuff is over with. You know, that people think that you got to have a job to get 401k and you know, work for a big company and all that kind of stuff. Do it on your own, you know. I make, you know, I can make 10 times more in a week than I can run my own business and I could working for anybody ever, you know?
Yeah. What's your family going to say about you when you went and worked a full-time job for 30 years and retired from it? And next thing you know, you have a massive heart attack and die the day after you retire. Let
me tell you this. My buddy, man, worked for the same company. He called me last week and we talked, and he's already got him another big job. He was a big wig for a blasting company, but he gave him 20 years, man. He gave that company 20 years. They let him go, gave him a $15,000 severance pay. He's my age. Like, that's the only job he's ever had besides, like, we worked at Jack's when we was like 15, 16 years old. But since high school, it's the only job he's ever owned. And he got to the top. He was the manager, or he was the boss man at the plant. I mean, they're paying him I think $110,000 a year. I mean, making good money. He'd been there 20 years, Tank. They let him go, gave him a $15,000 severance pay, and just like, what? I'm like, dude, you gave him 20 years. But now he's back working for another blasting company. He's making just about as much as he was, if not more now. But it's like, what the crap, man? Won't you do stuff on your own? You know, I feel better about it because now I got free time to go hang out with my family and my kids and do stuff with them. And there's still stuff in the business I have to go run out and do and everything. And I'm building my own 401k, as you want to say. I'm building my own portfolio. You know, I'm doing it all on my own. You know, I don't need the man to help me. And that's what I'm trying to tell everybody out here. You know, if you're a hustle, you work hard, you can achieve a lot of things just in lawn care.
Yeah.
Jay Moen, welcome, my Brian. Primetime Cuts in the house, man. What's up? Jay, man, having a trimming guy makes all the difference. We get 10 yards done in 5 hours with lunch in there. That's awesome. Hey, you can, man. A little helper that'll show up every day, work hard for you. Yeah, I don't see a problem with getting 10, 15 yards done a day, man. And a lunch break. I mean, we do it, you know. I mean, yeah, it's great. 2 guys out there in the field.
You take a lunch break?
Oh, yeah, my guys, we take a lunch break every day. Hey, I pay for Tank, I buy their lunch. I pay them for the time that it takes them to eat their food. The time don't start until the time starts when they get to the house until when they get home. That's when time is.
This is what I'm talking about, guys. All you folks down in the chat, what I'm talking about when I mention having rich friends, this is what I'm talking about. You got to be careful with guys like these because he'll have you doing stuff that you can't afford to do. Is what I'm telling you. Be careful.
Oh my gosh, you'll be there one day, man. And I pray and I hope everybody gets there. I hope everybody gets where I'm at, and I'm no guru. I'm a straight up redneck that talks lawn care, whatever. I don't have this big education on, you know, giving the big words and the big facts on what to do, you know. But if you listen to me, you know, I can show you some things that most blue collar guys that we are in here, everybody that's in here, you know, if you were in education and doing all that, your butt better been done something else besides going out here busting your tail, you know, sweating your balls off out here. But hey, I'm one of y'all, you know what I'm saying? I just upgraded, and I'm telling you, you can get there. But I ain't gonna sell you a course or nothing on it. It's free. Watch it. Watch the videos. Watch the lives. You got a question? Ask me. I'll give you an answer. If I can't, there's a lot of people in these lives that sure can.
I done asked you what I had to ask you. Now I'm just busting your chops.
Bust 'em, man. Being here with me, man. You giving me something to talk about and say and all that. It's great. Open that Raw IRA, laugh out loud. Tax-free growth, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Make more control of the life. I got Roth IRA since 2010. That's awesome, Ray. I agree, Jay. About to start really maxing it out. Yeah, that's what we're about to be. We're about to be maxing ours out completely. But I told my wife, hey, man, if as long as Roberto and I got guys that'll be like Roberto, I'm not saying that's going to happen. Once Roberto's gone, I might not ever find another guy like him. He's very rare breed. But I would like for my business to run like it's running until I'm 70 years old. Just go out and manage, But who's to say that could happen, Stuff can change tomorrow. I could be on YouTube tomorrow boo-hooing about, somebody left me or, I don't have no more employees and all that. And it happens. I get it,
I don't want to be thinking about anything lawn care and landscape related when I'm 70 years old. I'm just going to be straight up honest with all of you.
I hope I make enough that I don't have to do that either. That's what I'm trying to say. I hope I do really well. And, I'm only 41. You're a year older than me. So ride the wave, Ray said. That's the different things altogether. We want our money making money, not just rely on workers. I get it. It's different here, but see, he's going to throw out them words, man. That's just going to mess me all up. Read that.
Allocating.
Yeah, allocating 10 to 20% into superannuation.
Superannuation.
Yeah, superannuation.
It's kind of like a retirement.
Okay. It's reaping the tax-free benefits now. Okay. See, I told y'all I got that second grade education because I'm not smarter than a fifth grader. I tell you that. Have you already saw some of the questions they say on that show back in the day when you smarter than a fifth grader? Holy smokes.
We know you're from Alabama, Lee. It's okay.
I can't help it where the region I was in and the education I got, I still showed up every day. If they didn't teach me, it's their fault,
Can't say that in Georgia is about like Alabama. I mean, we're pretty much twin brothers.
Well, they got a lot of y'all got the casino and the gambling and all that kind of stuff that they give y'all really good schooling and stuff, right? Don't that go to support to the schools and the roads?
We ain't got no casinos. We got the lottery.
I mean the lottery. Well, other ones got the casinos. Y'all got the lottery. We don't have nothing in Alabama, so they don't help us out with education, roads, all that. Man, I got potholes going all over the place, man. Y'all talking about tearing tires up and all that. Come run down here in Walker County. Good night. You dodging all day long for your life.
Yeah, y'all just got a bunch of Roll Tide fans over there.
We got a lot of old money that nobody wants to spend and do anything with. That's what we have.
We have that too. A lot of that Tide. I call it Tidewater money. That old Southern money.
Yeah. He said, look at Ray. He said, I use my money to make more money by buying a new skid. I think we're going to have to put a bow on top of that sucker, man. It's going to be around Christmas time and you're going to buy that bad boy. That's the Christmas present for this year, Ray?
I'm waiting on that new skid.
Yeah.
I got a buddy of mine that bought a T770 with a Fecon mulcher about 2 months ago. And man, he is killing it with that setup. I mean, he's absolutely killing it. He bought a Bobcat T770, I think it is. I think that sounds right. That and he bought one of those Fecon brand mulching heads. And I don't really know a whole lot about the forestry mulcher, but I think that's pretty much what he told me. And man, he is killing it. He's charging $3,000 a day to do forestry mulching.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Which that's an expensive setup too. I mean, so he's got to charge that kind of money, I would imagine.
Yeah. I mean, what Ray's got going on, man, with that forester motion and everything, it's crazy, man. He's on something for sure. He's on another level of, increasing his wealth.
That dude has found a goal. I tell you what, watching Ray and Chad, those guys are the ones that inspired me to get into landscaping. I never really wanted. I've always known how to do landscaping since I was a younger guy, but as far as actually getting out there and doing it, I never really wanted to do it. And then watching them two, I'm like, man,
You should have saw some of my earlier videos. I got a lot of landscaping videos. I've done a lot of landscaping. We've done sod, we've done flower beds, we've done retaining walls, we've done a lot.
Yeah, I think I've got one landscaping video where I did a guy had a in-ground swimming pool torn out in the backfield, and then they sprayed it with or however they do hydro seed. I'm assuming that they spray it, but that stuff didn't take, so he had me come in there and put sod in, and I did a video of that. Came in there with a mini skid and ran a Harley rake over it and a land plane and all that good stuff, and then smoothed it out and laid down some old Celebration Bermuda.
Yeah,
that was a pretty good payday. It was a 2-day job. Made it was either 2,600 or 3,600. I can't remember.
That's really good. Really good. Landscaping. I use landscaping in my business as extra. I'll throw that in the safe or in the bank and for the winter months. Anything. My business, I already try to keep it set up to where the maintenance is going to run full. And I'm going to try to average and knowing what I'm going to make at the end of the year. But any landscaping job or whatever, that's just icing on the cake for me. That's how I look at it. It's just whatever we can pick up as far as landscaping work or whatever, man. It's an extra blessing. Yeah, my wife said a kid that used to work for me, he is in high school, sure enough, and it was around the virtual days, the COVID and all that. Well, now he's killing it with mulching too. He does land clearing and everything, and he's got all kinds of equipment, man. And he used to work with me in high school. He used to run a trimmer and run the mowers and weed eaters and all that. Now he runs his own business. I think he's got 2 guys under him. One runs a dump truck every day. The other one's he's got big money now. Like you wouldn't imagine. He just bought a dump truck. He just bought a dump truck that costs like $160,000 or something.
Yeah, this guy I'm talking about, we actually used to work together at Budweiser, and he had his landscaping business whenever he worked there with me. That was probably, I think I left there in 2012. Or something like that, 2011 or 2012. But he had his landscaping business then, and he was just doing it on the side. It wasn't really anything to write home about. And but he grew that, and actually he has 2 crews on the road now, 2 maintenance crews and 1 landscaping crew on the road. So he's got 3 trucks on the road, a landscaping truck and 2 maintenance trucks, and then he also has a contract with that same Budweiser distributor and the CVS distributors. He goes in and does a soft wash on all of their trucks and trailers once a month. And then he's got the land cleared, and he also does tree service too. So I have no clue what he's making. We don't get into all that, but he is crushing it, man. He did tell me.
Yeah.
He did tell me he was charging $3,000 a day as a day rate, but he said if it's going to be less than a day, he said he charges $330 an hour for forestry mulching.
Wow, that's really good. That's really good. I know a lot of them, like I see on Facebook and all that, or the advertising and everything. And I didn't know if Ray did this too or whatever, but they do say it's like $200 an hour with a minimum of 3 hours or 4 hours. I saw a lot of people do that, and they'll do to come out there, they're going to have a minimum or a couple hours, but then after that, it's the $150, $200 an hour or whatever.
I didn't ask him about that, as what his minimum is like as far as doing stuff.
How are y'all pricing sod jobs? Let's see. I would need to rent one of those Harley rake things to get the ground ready per hour per day. What should I know? Ray said 700 a pallet is what he charges. That's really good. And 800 a minute.
800 a minute.
Yeah, it's 800 MIN. Ray's killing it, man.
800 minimum.
Yeah, okay, minimum. But he just says.
I'm about to say, God Almighty knows.
I was making a joke out of it, like he can roll his prices nowadays however he wants. He's big wig.
Yeah, Ray's killing it, man. Ray's on it. He's a different level.
Yeah, minimum on mulching. I got you. 800 minimum on mulching. Yeah, 700 per pallet. And is that Ray? Is that installing? What you're paying per pallet? Does that includes the install and everything? Because I tell y'all how I do it. I try to do it. I add up how many pallets it's going to be, and then I'll look at it. If there's prep work and all that, that's going to be different. So I'll put it to the side and figure that up. And I'll let y'all know, but it's like pretty much whatever materials cost or whatever. I do like time and a half, whatever it's costing. I do the same way with my mulch. I do the same way with pine straw. Anything that because then that helps cover the the labor and all that and the material. So
yeah, just know this: if you're renting equipment, you're not going to be able to charge the same amount as everybody else. You're going to have to take a hit because. In my area, typically to rent just the mini skid, this is for a mini skid now, you're looking at $350 a day. And then you're going to pay an extra 100 for, I think it's an extra 200 for hydro attachments, and then an extra 100 for like regular attachments, like a smooth bucket or something like that. But so for a mini skid let's just say a mini skid with a Harley rake and either a land plane or a smooth bucket, you're looking at, let's see, that's 250. You're looking at $650 just in equipment rentals right there for one day.
1 day, wow.
And if you have to rent a dump trailer, that typically runs between 150 and 200 a day, depending on where you go in my area. But and that's the same problem I'm having right now. I'm in a spot where I have to rent equipment. I don't have landscaping equipment, and I know Ray, you're probably screaming at me right now, and I get it, man. I should have had all this stuff bought a long time ago, but I never thought I was going to get.
Not really, man. Not really. You're still new. I mean, 5 years. What you got? 5 years in? No, you're still new, man.
Never thought I was going to get into landscaping either.
New. Yeah, never thought you're going to get into landscaping, and I didn't either. It just comes, it just comes, and you don't want to let that money go, because if your customers are asking for it, you're like, oh yeah, I can get to it, I can do it, and then you find a way to do it. And right now you're having to rent the equipment and all that, but bank that money up in the bank on every landscaping job you get. That way you can start buying pieces of equipment, because if you're like me, you got your maintenance already set. Your landscaping should be extra because you're adding that service now. So anything you got with it, try to bank it somewhere else in a separate account or something, sock in the drawer in your safe, and then go buy you a piece of equipment, or at least pay down on one. The
way I do it is like, just say I'm laying, we're just going to say a pallet of 419 Bermuda or tipped up Bermuda, whatever you want to call it. That's typically 500 square foot pallet.
500, yeah.
Yeah, is for slabs, and where I get mine from, that's $210, and that's if you go pick that pallet up yourself and not have it delivered. And so what I'll do is I'll add 20% to that for the delivery fee and all that good stuff, and then I will charge whatever that pallet of sod costs. That's what I'm going to charge for labor as well. So because you can. If you're hustling, you can lay a pallet of sod in it takes me about an hour and 10 minutes to lay 500 square feet of slabs. And that is, for me, that's busting it. That's humping.
Yeah.
And, because slab sod, that's tough work. But,
it's a little bit heavier.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of up and down too, but that's the way I do it. And now you can do it to where instead of charging $210 for your labor, or instead of adding that 20%, what you can do is if you're renting equipment, you can, whatever your rental fee is, you can add a 50% upcharge to your rental fee. Instead of charging that 20%, you can make a little extra if you just add a 50% charge to the rental fee instead of charging that 20% shipping and handling fee on the side. So there is ways to make money, but just know on your bottom line, what you bringing home, your profit is not going to be as much as somebody that's established, because if you're charging what everybody else is and you're renting equipment too, you can't push all that to the customer, because if you do, you're not going to land any jobs.
They'll go to somebody that already owns the equipment.
That's exactly right, and they can save themselves anywhere from $500 to $1,000.
Yeah.
And that's the bad part about starting out in landscaping. You've got to take a hit up front, man. But it is what it is. It's like anything else. It takes time.
All right, we got another question. It says, or somebody was telling you, Tank, I've got to give a quote for a sod at one of these mansions in Nashville this weekend. I'll get the job no matter my cost. Just want to be sure not to shoot myself in the foot. Well, what's the square footage of it and everything? People can break it down for you and everything. Once you find it or whatever, if it's this weekend, come in Sunday, tell us the square footage, tell us the price of the sod, and maybe we can break it down. That'd be pretty cool in the live to help you try to figure up you a quote.
I think there's a guy that's normally in the chat on the Sunday lives. I can't think of his name. Is it Jay Myers? I think it is.
Yeah, he lives in Nashville.
I think he's up around Clarksville in that area. He might be able to give you a better answer on that, because he's in that area. And the thing about price is you could pretty much go off of a ballpark, but the reality is every market is different. I may be telling you my price for a pallet might be $210. You might be able to go to your supplier and get it for $160. You never know.
Yeah, Ray just said the next comment, we pay $170 a pallet, and I pick it up, sod myself, and charge delivery. But on lawn trailers, labor, it's off. So.
Yeah.
So he can get it for $170 a pallet. I think I can get it for like $190, $180, something like that. I think I can get it for.
Yeah, all Bermuda in my area, whether it's 419 Common or Celebration, it's all $210 a pallet. But when you start getting into your zoysias, you got Empire and Emerald zoysia. It's like, I think I was told $250 for a 400 square foot pallet, and then when you get into Xeon zoysia, it's $300 for a 300 square foot pallet.
Yeah, it's expensive, man, when you get in that higher quality grades.
Yeah. And there's a lot of prep work for Xeon zoysia.
Oh yeah, it needs to be really good. My supplier I have to get it from, it's like 35 minutes away. They don't have no one around me in my town. I have to go a pretty good ways to get sod. It kind of sucks.
Yeah, I had 4.5 pallets of I think it was Tiff Tough. I can't remember, but I had 4.5 pallets of Tiff Tough Bermuda delivered this past February, and it cost me $1,100. No, it was 4 pallets, not 4.5. It cost me $1,100 and some change. That was with the delivery fee. And so
yeah, Ray said I always get the delivery money, put me in control of the timing of the job too. My supplier's 3 miles away. That'd be nice.
Oh yeah. Well, my supplier is literally he's less than that. I mean, he's less than a mile from me.
That must be nice.
Yeah. But
all y'all is, what's the furthest you go out to your customer? One customer. What's the furthest you go out?
About 20 minutes, 25 minutes, depending on what time of the day it is.
Well, that'd be nice. And I know Ray's really close to it and everything. My furthest away, 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Well, it's tip for tap. I'd rather I'd rather live in an area like yours. I'd rather live out in the country than live right here in this HOA nightmare that I'm living in.
Yeah. I get that too. A lot of people say that too, or whatever. It's just, you know, being far away from everybody, and you know, and I realized too, like some places in Atlanta and all that, if you go, like say we went to the Braves game and then we left there and we're going to go get something to eat, it says 3 miles away. It might take you 20 minutes to get there. You know, it might take you 20 minutes to get 3 miles away, and I'm like, what the crap, you know?
Yeah, you couldn't pay me to live in Atlanta. There's no way.
If it's 3 minutes from here, I mean 3 miles from here, you're going to get there in 3 minutes or something. You know, I mean, or or more, but it's real close. You know, you don't go in these locations and it says it's this many miles away, and it takes you 30 minutes to get to that location, but just because of the traffic, you know.
Yeah, but a good rule of thumb is something I learned. Anytime you're doing any kind of landscaping, whether it be installing mulch, rocks, or pine straw, or sod, hardscape, whatever it is, you want to make at least the same amount of money that you're spending for the materials. At least. If you can't, just say you're spending $1,000 on materials. If you're not profiting $1,000, that job ain't worth doing.
Mm-hmm.
You need.
Go ahead.
That's just my opinion. You want to make that minimum.
Oh yeah, definitely. Dalton said he'll bring some numbers in Sunday or whatever, and we'll try to come up with him something or whatever. I think it'd be kind of fun, but you know, he's got to realize too, you know, and this is where we can get different opinions on different areas. You know, because nobody's area is the same. You know.
Jay could probably comment on that too. Didn't he do some landscaping this past winter?
Yeah, he was doing some landscaping and stuff. So I mean, he can talk about, you know, his prices and everything, and renting that stump grinder he was renting and everything. He can come on here and talk about everything.
I'm sure he learned some hard lessons on that.
Yeah.
I mean, being that
he was in here earlier. Let's hope he admit it. Come on in here, Jay. You're one now. Come on. We ain't gonna rap on you too hard. I got some bad deals I did in life on lawn care.
I'm not saying that being malicious at all. I'm just saying this is what his second year in lawn and landscape, and he already got his feet wet in the landscaping aspect of it in year one. Man, I can just imagine what kind of pricing mistakes he made in year one. I could just imagine.
Yeah. Brian said if you watch the Lawn Stars, it's a 5-minute rule. Laugh out loud.
Those Lawn Stars are hilarious, man. Did y'all see? I watched that one that he did on Shane after y'all mentioned it in the live the other night.
Yeah.
Dude, I cracked up.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife just asked Ray, how are price different in Atlanta from your 60 miles away? I mean, is it a big difference? Is it a big difference from you and Ray? Because how far apart are you and Ray?
I'm not sure where Ray lives.
Noonan.
That's Alan Jackson country there.
Well, he didn't tell everybody that, man. It's all about the hoochie coochie.
Oh man. Oh man. This is a family channel, Lee. Chill out.
Well, I'm singing the song.
I'm messing with you, man.
Way down under on the Chattahoochee.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Than a hoochie coochie.
I had to take my headphones off for a second. I'd say Noonan,
80 miles.
Yeah, I'd say Noonan probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours. I don't know that for sure, but I'm just assuming. I don't get up to Atlanta a whole lot. I used to go up there a lot when my oldest daughter was playing travel softball, but I try to stay away from them woods.
Yeah. We don't try to go to Birmingham much, you know, or Montgomery or Huntsville and all that. It's too big areas.
Yeah, now I can't speak on landscaping, but I do. There's a guy named Russell up in Atlanta. He's got a channel. It's called Gwinnett Lawns.
Mm-hmm. And I've watched him.
Yeah, he's in Gwinnett County, Georgia, and that's in the heart of Atlanta, really. And he said his minimum one time, this was 2 years ago, so it might have gone up. His minimum 2 years ago was $89 for mowing. And you're not getting that for a cookie cutter lawn in my area. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Our minimums down here are somewhere between 50 and 70, depending on what kind of confidence you've got.
Yeah. My cheapest yard I have is $75. It's the cheapest one I have at all my yards. I have $75 yards. It's cheapest. J Mowing. I do pretty good with the grinder. Rental per week for the big one is $1,500 something. We did over 8,000 with it. But compared to my friends, he paid $1,600 a month with his Big Daddy grinder. Had him do so.
Wait a minute, you made $8,000 in a week with a stump grinder? That's is that $8,000 profit or is that revenue?
But that landscaping wasn't too bad, I guess, but definitely upcharged. Ended up cracking the main shaft on that Chinese Mini, laugh out loud.
Okay, you said that was revenue.
It says revenue.
I was going to say, God, I might have known I'm in the wrong area. I need to move to Kentucky. Yeah. What area of Kentucky are you in, Jay? I've got a lot of family right around the Paducah, Kentucky area, around Wycliffe and all that.
All right, I gotta say something because my wife just texted me, and I don't want y'all to think that I'm not real with y'all. But I made a mistake just then when I said the cheapest yards I have is 70, and I forgot I did pick up 7 yards in that subdivision, and I'm at $55 a yard for them. But they're less than a quarter of acre yard. So I wanted to rephrase that I do have some yards that are cheaper than that. Takes them about 15 minutes to do, but they're $55. So thank you, Dave, for texting me that. See, she keeps me up to date. She keeps me on point.
Just about all of my weekly customers, except for 2, I think, are $55 because all I'm doing is going in there and mowing and blowing. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I charge extra for bushes. I've got a few that I'll add it in, but I normally charge extra for bushes.
Mm-hmm.
I charge separate for that.
I will agree with that. Everything extra other than mow, blow, edge, and weed eat, anything else is extra. That price just covers that,
Yeah. And I'm a little different than a lot of people too. I know a lot of guys on YouTube, they'll do it 2 different ways. They'll look at the job and charge by the job, or they'll look and charge by the hour on bushes. I have a set price for each size bush. Like if it's below my waist, that's a $5 bush. If it ain't gonna take me but 2 or 3 minutes to trim it up, clean, blow it out in the yard, and I can mulch it up or suck it up with a walker, I'm just gonna charge them an extra $5 for that service. But if it's above between my waist and my top of my head, that's a $10 bush. And if it's anything over my head, it's $20. But if I have to get on a ladder or if I have to put an extension on that combi, that's an automatic $100 added to that job. An automatic. And, but that's per bush. Now I'm not talking about per bush job. That's per bush. So if you've got 10 bushes that are between your waist and the top of your head, that's $100, man.
Oh yeah. He said, the grinding is really needed in my area. My friend Daniel has made no less than $60,000 a year, I guess, since 2023.
How often is he running that grinder?
How often is he running the grinder, Jay? I got a few city yards that take less than 10 minutes each. The lowest one is $65. That's really good, Brian. See, that's Brandon.
Pretty good.
So, Brandon, you are in that rich area and you're getting that money.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Plus, we're getting quite a bit of naders coming through each year that knocks over the trees. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that helps. That's job security. You don't want nobody to get hurt or anything, but it's job security if it just knocks down the trees.
Who was that, Jay?
Yeah. Every day plus works a weekend job in the factory. So that guy's running that machine every day and then working a regular job in the factory.
So he's got a regular 9 to 5 job, and he's also making 60 grand a year extra just grinding up stumps.
That's
pretty good.
That's
Yeah.
really good.
That's a hell of a side gig there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I'd never forget, man. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that one that Ray had his buddy come over there and do, dude, that was a beast right there, and that's probably what that guy's got that Jay's talking about. I mean, he mulched up 20 something trees in 3.5 hours. That's pretty good.
That's crazy. Them stump grinders, man, they scare me to death. I'm not gonna lie to you.
He said he's hooked up with 3 tree services. Okay. That helps when you got the business flowing coming in. If you can get on with some tree services and everything, that really does help.
Yeah.
Kentucky has been Tornado Alley the last few years. Really has, man. In my area, stump grinding ain't a full-time gig unless you with tree service. So that's what he's saying. Unless you're with a tree service, it's not really. And it's the same thing over here with me, man. I don't see many stump grinding crews going out or anything where I'm at. You know, you got like 1 or 2 in my area, and they're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
My wife said we've actually had a lot of customers want stump grinding. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not buying a stump grinder.
No, I'm not either. I mean, I just don't have a need for it, but I'll rent one every now and then, and I've used one a time or two, but the only reason is if I'm doing a job and there's some stumps that the customer's wanting out of the way, you know, I'll do it just to get that job. But I hate grinding stumps, man. It scares me.
Yeah, me too, man. Even the whole mulching and everything, I'd love to have my back property mulched because I got a lot of privet trying to come over, and I'll spray it, and I'll try to get Roberto and him to get in there and clean it up in the winter just to give them some time. But I'd love to have it all mulched down nice and see all the big, oak trees and all that. And because as you go past it, it's only about 15 foot, but it goes the length of my property, and it's only about 15 foot. But once you go past it, the woods open up, and it's all pretty and nice. I wish I could just clean it off and clean it all.
There's this guy I know named Ray. He could probably help you out with that.
I know. I might get him come down one winter and help me mulch all that up. Pay him a little bit of money. Yeah. He's friends and family, right? I should get that friends and family deal, right?
I don't know. You in Alabama, he's in Georgia.
Call Ray Lee. I'll work out a deal. Oh,
that's
man.
funny.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he'll hook me up. We charge 8 to 10 an inch around here, unless it's like 5 foot across. Then we go down to 6 an inch. Laugh out loud.
See, I was thinking 10 an inch minimum or 10 per inch with $100 minimum is what I was thinking it would be. That's if you owned a stump grinder,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess it'd be kind of hard to charge somebody $100 to grind up a little holly stump.
I will bring the new skid steer and break it in. Yeah, that'd be some good filming, dude, for real. Come on, bring it in and break that bad boy in at my property, man. That'd be sweet.
We need to talk Chad into getting one of those mulchers for his SCL.
Yeah.
Dude, and then I would be terrified.
Have everybody come down to my property and we shoot one big massive video. They're going to get the revenue off the what YouTube will pay them. I won't have to pay them nothing to clean it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Had the boss lady out there directing traffic. You need to do this. You need to do that. Hey, you missed a spot. You missed a spot, Ray.
Mm-hmm.
Bet Brittany will straighten him out.
Jay's video, I guess, just popped up on my thing. It says, winter is coming. Don't over leverage. So he's got a new video that popped up.
Who's that?
Popped up on my computer. Jay's mowing. So he's got a new one that just popped up. He's probably been sitting there editing and doing all that while watching Urban's Lawns live. And yeah.
Yeah, Jay's big time. That's why he don't ever get on here.
Yeah. He don't want to be on here and all that. He's too big for us.
Yeah.
Us little guys. So,
But no, I couldn't imagine running a forestry mulcher on a mini skid. I'd be terrified. That's some violent work right there, man.
oh yeah.
I've seen some of those videos that Ray has done when he's mulching, and he'll have the camera in the tractor in the skid with him, and you'll see stuff flying up, hitting the door, and I'm like, boy, I could just imagine somebody like Chad having a forestry mulcher on that mini, and he just get tagged by one of them things. Oh man, I couldn't imagine that.
Oh, I know. I know.
That's a death wish, death trap.
Randall just sent me a video attachment. Where's he at? Is he not on here? Randall, you're not in here. You ain't in this live.
I don't know. He mentioned one time before about taking a break from YouTube.
Yeah, he just sent me a video attachment, so I don't know what he's doing. He's probably out walking and hiking and everything.
Yeah, which I've taken a break from YouTube too, man. Just taking a step back. I hadn't put out a video in a while, and this is really the only time I get on is on Sunday and Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Just to watch your show, Lee.
Oh, well, you pop in here too or whatever, so I appreciate you being in here and everything, you know.
Yeah.
Eventually, I mean, it's either you or Chad or somebody. I'm going to have to make a designated guest all the time, you know, like co-host. It's either going to be you and Chad. Y'all are in battle with it right now. You know, you kind of took it over him, though, because you've been in there a lot more. So we're going to have to change the live up to a different name.
I'm sure my people and your people could get in touch and work something out.
Yeah, I have to talk to my lawyers and everything and see what they got.
Yeah,
going on, you know,
you get a hold of my agent, aka Mama Tank.
7 an inch, but my guy says he don't charge by the inch, and that's all he does is stumps. Okay. Yeah, I've always wondered how you charge to do stump grinding because I don't have a clue with it. You know, I mean that's something I would have to learn and then see if it's even worth it in my area to even buy the equipment to do it with. And I don't see it. I don't see it happening. Just like the whole firewood, we did firewood in the very beginning, just like Chad's getting out of firewood now. I mean, there's not a lot of money in firewood, and you're moving the material so much. But it's some hard work, man. And unless you can do it, that's what I've always told people like Chad. He's doing it for Ace. You know, if you can get some barbecue joints around town to buy it, I mean, that's where you can start. But you got to do it commercially, I think. I don't think doing it residentially or whatever, there's a lot of money in it.
Yeah, especially if you live in a rural area, people can get their own firewood.
Well, it don't get as cold like it does up in Pennsylvania and up in the Maryland and New York and all that. You know, we don't get as cold as they get. So, yeah, it's probably a big demand up there, you know, for firewood, people warming their houses up and all that.
Well, not only that,
not
only that, Lee, you live in the country, man. Most people that live in areas like that, yeah, they've got their own chainsaw, and a lot of them have log splitters. They can get out there and cut their own firewood. They ain't worried about it.
Yeah, Brandon, you're right, man. And this is what we deal with in my area if people are going to do it. Firewood is brutal. It's hard to compete with a junkie selling a full core for $150. They'll sell the whole back end of their truck for $80. I mean, covered all the way across, up a couple height for $80 in back of a F-250 or something. I'm like, man.
Yeah.
It costs a lot of money to do that.
Yeah, but as far as stump grinding goes, the only way I would buy a stump grinder and add that to my list of services is if I had like a mini skid or a skid. I'd buy an attachment. If I don't know how much those attachments go for. If I could buy one for $1,500, $2,000, something like that for a mini skid, yeah, you could make a profit off of something like that because eventually it would pay for itself. But one of them big stump grinders, man, ain't no way. I know just the Toro walk behind stump grinder is like $30,000. There's no way. Not as a landscaper.
Yeah.
But I will say, when Hurricane Helene came through, because it came through my area and it destroyed this place. And when it did, man, if you had a skid steer, if you had a dump trailer, and if you had a stump grinder, you were about to make an instant $100,000 extra.
Yeah, but see, that's where a lot of your storm chasers go. your people, that's all they do is chase storms. They'll have a dump trailer, they'll have their skid steer in it, and they have all that. And that's how they go around and make money, because they chase the storms for cleanups. I had a buddy that did that, and he would clean the house. You know, he asked me a couple of times to go up there with him. I'm like, he's like, dude, he said, I'll make 30 grand this month alone.
Yeah.
30 or 40 grand in 1 month. I
got a friend of mine that bought a skid steer right before Hurricane Helene hit, because his mindset was he was going to rent equipment until he got ready to rent it and the equipment wasn't available. Then he was just going to go out and buy it. And he went and paid cash for a skid steer, a little Caterpillar skid steer. I don't know what size it was, but he wound up doubling his money within about 4 months after the hurricane came through. It was crazy. I mean, we were so oversaturated with tree guys and during that time period. But at the same time, you couldn't drive down the road because of piles of wood just piled up on the sides of the road. And it was like that on every street in Augusta and the surrounding cities. It was bad.
Yeah. He said, Jay said, don't waste your $30K. If you're going to do it big, $60K plus, laugh out loud. The Toro sucks.
Well, that's about the only thing I can rent.
That's a lot of money, man, off the top. You know, and I'm been in it long enough that I'm not going to go and jump in and dive in something big either that I don't know nothing about, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not buying one unless it's an attachment for a skid steer. But the Toro, that's the only one I've ever ran, and I didn't have no complaints about it. But at the same time, I have nothing else to compare it to. So,
you have stump grind before?
Yeah, I've done it. I've done it on 2 different jobs. Just I'll be doing a landscaping project like the one I did this past year, where I went in and ripped out just completely ripped everything out of this person's beds. Mm-hmm. And came back with all new stuff. But there were 3 holly stumps in those beds, and I had to grind all those down before I could do anything. Grind them all down and chase the roots.
Wow. Yeah, if it's anything like that or whatever, I'll just bring my little mini and just try to dig around and pull the stuff out. I've never stump grinded. As long as I'm in the business, I've never stump grinded anything.
Yeah. I've done it on 2 different occasions.
What's up, Francisco? He said, my buddy sells dry kindling, firewood, and mulch, and he does well over 1 million, I guess, a year. Yeah, he must have a big old outfit, man. He's probably got one of them that are, you know, I've saw him like it's an Easton or something. It'll split it, run it through a conveyor, and then it'll roll it in a roller and clean it up, and then it'll go in another conveyor and throw it out into a pile. If y'all want to watch it, it's a guy called something Morgan's. Oh, what is it? Dang, I hate it. I ain't got his name. Somebody help me out if you know who I'm talking about. But he's up in Pennsylvania. He's got one of the machines that does firewood and everything.
That guy, Francisco, that you're talking about, is that what he does full time? Is that all he does? Or is that like add-on stuff? I mean, I would assume if he's making into millions, that has to be what he does full time.
Life with the Morgans. That's who it is. Check him out on YouTube. He's got a big channel. But, man, they do some firewood there.
When he talks about selling mulch and stuff like that, it kind of makes me wonder, is he talking about like a ground cover supply company? Like where you go to buy mulch, rocks, pine straw, things like that.
Yeah. My wife just said, why are you not considering a Chinese mini equipment? If you're just now getting into landscaping, great way to build profit to buy bigger machines.
You talking about me?
Yeah.
I am considering it.
You're considering the Chinese minis or something? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not above anything. I'm considering all of it.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact,
Outdoors with the Morgans. That's right. I'm sorry, Tar Heel. Outdoors with the Morgans. Yeah.
Yeah. Matter of fact, the last time I rented a mini skid, I was at a Bobcat dealership. They rent equipment as well. And we were just looking around and everything, and it was when I first got into looking at different equipment and things like that. And I asked him if he knew anything about the Chinese minis. And his exact words to me was, do it at first but don't set it in stone. Like, go out there, make you some money with a Chinese mini, whether it be an excavator or a mini skid, whatever it is. Go out there and make some money with it. Save every dime you make off of it, and then go out and buy the real thing, is what he was telling me, because of the simple fact that, yes, while it does have a Kubota engine in it, you're not going to be able to take it to a Kubota dealership around here and have them work on it for you.
Yeah.
He told me the closest place to this area that works on any of those Chinese equipments like that is up in Atlanta. And he said they've got a huge waiting list.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'll tell you what, the ones that Ray was showing in his video when he was going around purchasing that one, that's what I'm going to get next. It's like Chad's, but it's a knockoff of Chad's, but it's a 1000. And
like a direct?
Yeah, like a direct 1000 or something. That's what I'm going to get next. I am. And I'm going to get a bigger mini too. I want to get one of them 1.5 ton minis, because mine's like a 1/2 ton now. And it's just got more butt behind it to grab stuff. And it's got like a hydraulic thumb on it. Mine don't have none of that. You got to realize, guys, I bought mine. Didn't know about auctions, but I bought mine like 5 or 6 years ago, and they were the prime thing everybody was wanting. Now they upgraded and they brought newer equipment in over the years. I just need to come up with time with them. Like that little mini I got, it does great. I ain't had a whole lot of problems with it besides the fuel pump issue. And then it started overheating, and I used one of them motorcycle wraps and wrapped it up and everything, but to keep the engine bay cooler. But I mean, it's made me a lot of money. Both of the pieces of equipment have made me a lot of money. I should be able to just go on and buy a bigger one, and they're only going for like what, 7,000 maybe at an auction. Them direct 1000s or V1000s or whatever. That's what they're going for in an auction.
Yeah.
So,
me personally, though, whenever I do get ready to buy a bigger piece of equipment like that, the first thing I'm gonna get is a tractor, like a compact tractor, something like, not necessarily a Yanmar. Yeah. I remember when he bought that. That was right before the spring started. He bought that, and I think he paid $11,000 for it cash. And man, I don't know this. I mean, we don't talk numbers with each other, but I would imagine he's probably added $20,000 worth of revenue since he's had that piece of equipment. Yeah. And that's just working with it once or twice a week. Imagine what he's going to do with it in the wintertime. But
hey, I've made over, I ain't gonna lie, no flex, but we're talking numbers. With my 2 minis, Chinese equipments, I've made over 100,000 with them since I've had them easily.
Yeah, I made over 20,000 this past winter. Just renting. Yeah, just renting.
Yeah,
I'm talking about 20,000 profit, not revenue.
Yeah.
So imagine what my profit could have been if I actually owned the equipment.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It'd probably be an extra $3 or $4 grand if I owned the equipment.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I could probably get more use out of a tractor, because I'm in a hunting club and we do a lot of work down there, and I ain't hauling no mini skid or no skid steer down to the woods. That ain't happening. All them rednecks down there be wanting my stuff.
Oh yeah, they want to play on it and everything. They want to see what they'll do. Flip it over.
But I had to bury one of them.
Yeah, I get it. Guys, anybody else got anything they want to talk about or whatever before we get off here? I ain't trying to make these lives as long as I do on Sunday nights or whatever. I'm just adding another live throughout the week because I don't do many videos anymore. And it's a good way, man. Everybody had a lot of good conversations tonight and brought up some good things. So, yeah, I think it's worth doing 2 lives a week.
What I want to know is, can we get a commitment from either Dalton or Jay right now to come into live Sunday night? Are they still on?
Let's see what they say.
Or Tar Heel.
My wife said, hunting club don't make you money.
It actually does, Miss Brittany. It saves on my grocery bill. Thank you very much.
Yeah, 1 bullet, man, could feed y'all for a couple weeks, you know?
Shoot, yeah. Shoot, yeah.
She knows all about that. Don't let her trick tea. I bet she's killed more deers than you have. I promise you.
I
is
guarantee you she
busting them
hasn't.
down. She busts them down, dude. I'm telling you.
She probably killed a lot, but I guarantee you she hasn't. I've done some pretty illegal stuff in my life, and we're gonna leave it at that.
She is
we're not
too. She
we're
killed
not gonna get
5
into
in one
numbers.
weekend.
If I get into numbers on YouTube, somebody else is gonna have to run Tank's Lawn Maintenance because DNR sees it. They gonna know that boy. He ain't old enough to be killing that many.
Well, just it's okay, man. We ain't that big of a channel, man. Ain't nobody probably gonna see this. So.
I don't know, man. You got your live show. How many people you got in here watching right now?
Oh, it's only 7 now, but we had like 18 at one time. Everybody's starting to slow down. I guess it's getting a little late. They pop in and pop off.
Did one of them comment? Who said something? Oh, that was Brittany.
Well, Brittany said the same. She can't talk about it either.
Oh, Brittany's an outlaw, huh? Yeah, what goes on at night does not need to be talked about in the daytime.
Well, she ain't saying that, but she probably has.
Hey, we live in the South, and we've all grew up around dirt roads with a beer in our hand, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, we saw my piebald deer again. Brittany came in and showed me a picture of it. It's like a 4-point now. Oh, piebald deer, man. That thing is awesome. She's like, you can't kill my deer around here. I mean, it's fully piebald. It's so pretty, man. It's a pretty buck.
When you say fully piebald, you talking about brown and white or just solid white?
No, just brown and white, but it's got a lot of white spots all over it. I mean, it's way more whiter than it is brown.
I've seen 2 of them in my life, and my wife and I can't remember if my oldest daughter was born yet or not, but we saw one at the lake one day right before you get to the guard shack at the campground we were staying at. Yeah, this is a freaking 10-point buck. I mean, it wasn't a monster 10-point rack, but it was a 10-point buck piebald, and I was like, you better be glad it's September right now, because I'm telling you, you'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
And I would be too.
Yeah. I think if we got him, if I told my wife if we did really eventually get him or whatever, we want him to grow. You know, he's only a year and a half old, probably, and he's a little 4-point. But if he can grow pretty big or whatever, I'd fully mount him. I'd fully mount that sucker because he's so pretty.
You say that, but once you start growing them and watching them grow and everything, you start getting attached to them. I found that out the hard way, man.
That's why I said I can't kill them.
That's why I quit putting out trail cameras. I was like, man, I feel like I know these kids.
Yeah.
But did Jay or Dalton comment? No. All right. Well, whatever.
Well. Man, we tried. We tried to get them on. You know, it's okay. Maybe one day. My channel's got to get bigger for probably Jay to get on here. You know.
Yeah, probably so. Either or you could get Boss Lady on there.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to have you know, if we did do this you know, all the time, maybe our wives join in and they can give the perspective of being married to a lawn care guy.
Mine would probably say mine would probably tell you, I wish he would get a freaking real job. That's probably what mine would tell you.
Mine would say, I wish he would shut up about lawn care.
Oh yeah,
everybody so long.
Mine had to make a rule in our house about year 2, I think it was. She had to make a rule like, look, we got to stop talking about grass all the time. I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I know mine gets a lot bored with it, but hey, man, she supports. It pays the bills. She's supportive, and yeah, man, couldn't do anything without her, man. Wouldn't change a thing completely. So
yeah, I feel the same way about Mama Tank.
My wife's like, I think that would be a good idea to put. Then they'd be putting us on blast the whole time, you know. Everybody would probably turn away from our channel. Then we'll put the wife.
Whatever he's saying,
it's all on blast.
Whatever he's saying on YouTube, y'all don't listen to him. He's stupid. He's lying.
We're struggling out here. We're barely making it. It's all lies that he's telling y'all that y'all can become and everything. We don't even get to eat half the time. There's no groceries in our house. We need some Midwest representation. Oh, Francisco. Yeah. Don't. She said don't. I don't know. Don't.
Oh no.
I don't think that would be a good idea.
Oh.
Okay. There's that education coming out of me again, guys. Sorry. It's just what it is. So, but a lot of times Tank sees it too, though. When y'all are firing in here, them comments are flowing at the Tank. It gets kind of a little bit to get caught up and try to catch up with everybody, you know?
It gets to a point sometimes where I just cut the comments off because I'm like, man, I can't keep up with this mess. I just wait till Lee says something about it.
Yeah.
And y'all are bougie too, man. You got your camera right there, and then you got your computer sitting on the side where you can do both. Look at the camera and look. I can't do that, man. I got a phone.
Yeah. Well, you're going to have to get you one. You're going to have to get you a laptop, or you're going to have to get you a desktop computer. Hey, what it is, just run in there in your boys' room and steal theirs, because that's what I did. Mine moved out, and I told him, and he left it here, and now he wants it back at his house to game and everything. I said, no, dude, you moved out. You should have took it with you. Sorry.
I got a laptop.
Turn it into a pocket. A laptop will probably help you.
I just don't know how to use it. That's all.
Oh, you got them boys in there. They'll teach you how to do everything. I have to get my kids to do everything for me when it comes to technology stuff.
Yeah, but I don't like them.
Mine are too young. I gotta like them. Mine are too young. I gotta like them.
I'm just kidding. I love my boys to death.
My oldest can aggravate the crap out of me, though. I'll tell you that.
My youngest aggravates me. He does everything in his power to rage bait me.
Hey, but you're teaching them, man. That's great. You're teaching them to get out and work, and sounds like, hey, man, they're doing good for you. You know, can't be wrong about that at all. You know.
Yeah, I'm not upset about it.
My two young ones, they're a little young right now. I might start putting one of them on the mower, just playing around, let them mow a little bit, as far as weeding and all that. You know, they're only 8 and 10, so they need to grow up a little bit more before I can start putting it. But I promise you, they will have a weed eater in their hand eventually. So.
Heard that.
They're going to earn their keep around this house. You hear me?
Yeah, you got to pay for your room and board somehow, boy.
That's what I used to do to my oldest one. Yep. Yeah, there towards the end, he was cutting the yard. I didn't have it on the list. I was making him cut the whole yard and everything. That's how it should have been. Him 17, 18 years old. He need to be out there doing something, you know?
Yeah.
But, guys, we appreciate it. You got anything else you want to add, Tank? You good?
Keep cutting that grass and keep making that money.
You got a lot of yards to do tomorrow?
10.
10 yards. Is it 10 every day for the rest of the week?
I got 11 Thursday, and then Friday we got a pretty good-sized bush job. Probably take us about 3 hours.
That ain't bad. They're going to have a short day Friday, so Roberto can go off on down to Florida and everything and have fun. So they're going to work pretty tough tomorrow and the next day, and then Friday try to have a easier day, you know, so they can take off. So, but all right, guys, thank y'all so much. Good night, Brian. Good night, Taylor. Good night, Francisco. Anybody else that's in here that hadn't commented, you know, we'd love to have all your comments. Make sure you hit the like button on this video. Share it out if you can. We're wanting to try to meet our audience a little bit bigger and learn more about lawn care. That's what we're here for, you know, teach y'all. So, guys, I enjoyed it. And until next time, peace.
See y'all.